Head coach Mike Anderson's Big 12 champion Nebraska Cornhuskers are making their 5th consecutive NCAA postseason appearance, with senior Matt Hopper leading the conference in home runs. Eastern Michigan's head coach Roger Coryell has his Mid-American Conference champion Eagles flying high behind the bat of third baseman Derek Peterson. The NCAA baseball regionals are next. Matt Daga sends it deep to right. Look at the dive by Rebels to keep it going. Smack this one, this could go.
Hey, there's no mercy in this sport.
Morris slices it towards the gap. It's all the way to the wall. NETV Sports, Nebraska's home for sports, is live from Hawks Field at Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2003 NCAA Baseball Regionals. Today, it's Game 1 of the Lincoln Regional as the 9th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers host the Mid-American Conference champion, the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Hi again, everybody. I'm Kevin Kugler, and welcome to Haymarket Park at Hawks Field for the start of another postseason in Lincoln. It's an electric atmosphere here today as Nebraska begins its quest for a 3rd straight College World Series. They're 5 wins away from another trip to Omaha and 3 wins away from a 4th consecutive Super Regional. Working with me today, my partner Adrian Fiala. It's going to be a lot of fun all weekend long. Today, Eastern Michigan and Nebraska start us off, and Eastern Michigan, they're a pretty scrappy bunch.
You know what, Kevin? This is a real scrappy bunch. They started the season very tough. They lost 10 of their first 12 ball games this year. Really didn't know what to expect from that point on, but really got after, played solid baseball, got into their tournament, lost their first game in the MAC tournament, then came through the losers bracket, beat Miami twice to end it up, and then got here to the regional. So they're a scrappy bunch. It's a team that you better not overlook because they might step up and bite you.
Big 12 champs, Mid-American Conference champs. What's the keys to the game today?
You know what? I see this game basically as how well their pitcher, Dave Perron, is going to handle the bats of Nebraska. Dave pitched 13 innings in their tournament just a week ago. I don't know if he's ready to go. I think he's ready to go. They think that he's ready to go. So it's going to depend on how he handles the Nebraska bats. If he can handle Nebraska bats, we might have a ball game on our hands here.
Huge crowd today expected all weekend long, and somewhere out in that crowd is Larry Putney.
Well, thanks, Kevin. I'm out here on the third base berm. What a great day it is out here. Many of these fans lined up early this morning to get these general admission tickets, and we should mention plenty of GA tickets still available for the entire weekend. And the Huskers will need that fan support because the team they're playing today, Eastern Michigan, has played in front of 3,700 fans at home. That's 3,700 all year long combined. They're likely to double that with this crowd today. And by the way, with 85 degrees and sunny skies, there's a distinct aroma of coconut oil out here. Kevin?
Now, there's no coconut oil here, but we're ready for baseball. It's the Huskers and the Eagles. First pitch of the NCAA Regional coming up in a moment. The ex-Animo Barbershop Quartet finishing the national anthem here at Hawks Field and Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska. It is a beautiful day for baseball here in Lincoln. The crowd still coming in droves here to Haymarket Park. Wanted to remind everybody that if you're planning a trip to Lincoln this weekend, there are general admission tickets available for all of the games this weekend. The reserve seats are sold out, but lots of general admission seats available. So come on down and check out the Huskers if you're planning to this weekend. It's a great day today, 85 degrees, partly cloudy skies. North wind at 10 miles per hour, 56% humidity today. It's a warm one. And it's going to be a good day to play baseball. These guys will break a sweat very easily today. As you look at the Huskers, the number 1 seed in the region against the number 4 seed, Eastern Michigan, the champions of the Mid-American Conference tournament. Nebraska, of course, the regular season champions in the Big 12 tournament, but the wheels kind of fell off last Saturday down at Oklahoma City. Nebraska not able to get a lot of offense in the last 2 games against Baylor. They left earlier than they have in a long time down at Oklahoma City, but Nebraska feels like they're ready to go and refocused again for the NCAA tournament.
Kevin, they're happy to be at home. This is a great place for them to be. 26-4 this year right here at Haymarket Park. This is a great ballpark for them. They love it here. The fans love it here. They had their problems with the offense the last 2 games. In that 14-inning game that next to the semifinal game that they had to play, Kevin, didn't do them any favors, but really what happened down there is the bats fell silent. So they need to get the bats rolling. They get the bats rolling today against this Eastern Michigan bunch. Things could get really interesting as we move along here. But Dave Perron, the pitcher for Eastern Michigan, is going to have his hands full. He pitched 13 innings, as I said, in the open in their tournament. Again, he got a win and a loss in that tournament. But he's a battler. He's a gamer. He likes to throw the baseball. And then talking to their head coach, Roger Coryell, he's the guy who wants on the mound today. So it's going to be an interesting baseball baseball game against a scrappy bunch, the Eastern Michigan Eagles, against a team that really expects to be here and really expects to move on to the Super Regional and hopefully, ultimately, Kevin, the College World Series. So, good ball game. There you see Mike Anderson, the head coach, again, the Big 12 Coach of the Year in his very first season of coaching. So congratulations to Mike and his family, Kim, and all the kids. Way to go, Mike. Well done. And there you see Roger Coryell right there on the left. Kevin, he's a cousin of Don Coryell, the NFL football coach, I think, the Chargers and the Cardinals, as I recall. But there he is. Roger, very personable guy. We appreciate all of his help and his assistance with what we do. So now you're getting the lay of the land by the umpires.
Eastern Michigan, a team that hits 306 as a team. They allow their opponents, though, to hit 308. Pitching, it may be the weakness for this Eastern Michigan team. Tim Clockerty, the home plate umpire, John Thomas at first, Kevin Doherty at second, and Ken Grackner, the umpire, at third today. When we move to the postseason, we move to 4 umpires in college baseball, and we have 4 umpires here today at every base, so no question about the calls today. The Blue Crew will be out at every base again.
You know what he's telling right there? If you hit the ball over that fence, that's all you got to worry about. Just get out of here. But not a whole lot, I would think, as far as ground rules go here. Every park's got their own separate set of ground rules, but pretty basic here at Haymarket Park. And what a beautiful ballpark it is. There you see some of the great crowd that we're having here today. This is a wonderful crowd. The berms are starting to fill up. The main stand's pretty well filled here, and the Huskers just waiting to take the field. There you see the background there. And Kevin, as we were talking about driving in or walking in today, I remember the days when we played over there, the old field there at Nebraska, heading back towards the Coliseum. They had 10 rows of bleachers, all wooden bleachers, a canvas press box, and that was it. And here we are today in this marvelous, marvelous baseball facility. And the Huskers have really rewritten the chapters as far as Nebraska baseball goes. And there you see Haymarket, the football stadium in the background, and that wonderful sunburst pattern off the mound.
Larry Putney's down on the field. Larry?
Well, guys, you talk about ground rules as the Huskers take the field and the crowd reacts, but you talk about ground rules, and as Adrian mentioned, there aren't many. It's a very tight field. One of the things that the umpires and Coach Anderson, they do talk with the opposing team about when they come in is if you look at the 325 sign right down the right field line, just go up the yellow mark right above the 325, there's that gap of concrete. If it hits that, what are the chances? But if it hits that, it's a fair ball, but it's not a home run.
Well, there we go. The ground rules needed, and Eastern Michigan has those in mind. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Eagles. 32-26, 16-11 in the MAC this year. Brian Bixler will lead it off. Tony Palazzolo batting second. Derek Peterson bats third. Ryan Gillespie will clean up today. Ryan Ford batting fifth. Ryan Arnett batting sixth. Todd Kimling, the DH, bats seventh. Tim Klaus, the left fielder, batting eighth. And Brad Robat, the catcher, bats ninth for the Eagles today of Eastern Michigan. Nebraska defensively sends out Curtis Ledbetter into left field today. Jeff Lisey in center. Daniel Bruce in right. Alex Gordon at third. Joe Simakaitis at short. Jake Mullinax at second. Matt Hopper at first. Behind the plate, John Gross. And on the hill, they call him the Rooster, Quentin Robertson, the junior from Richland, Mississippi. 6'5", 215-pound junior, and he has been the real bright spot of Nebraska's rotation. He's been the real surprise of Nebraska's rotation, as you see the numbers.
There you see the numbers on Quentin Robertson. Again, 9-2 on the year. He has won 4 of his last 5 outings. Again, that 9-2 record, 3.90 and earned run average. First team All Big 12, along with Aaron Martin, who was actually the Big 12 pitcher up there also. Wonderful year for Robertson.
And earlier today, we talked with Mike Anderson about his right-hander, Quentin Robertson.
Fastball, slider, changeup. If he's throwing first pitch strikes, he's going to be successful today. And he gets that changeup going against lefties. That's a good pitch. So extremely competitive on the mound.
Kevin, let me just point this out about Robertson also. One of his last 4 or 5 mentioned that, but also in 6 of his last 9 wins, he has not walked a batter. So that is very key. We talk about that all the time. Here's first pitch.
Bixler fouls it away, and we are underway in the NCAA Regional. Brian Bixler, the sophomore from Sandusky, Ohio, the shortstop, hitting on the year at 326, 9 homers, 27 RBI. Good leadoff man. He has stolen 16 bases this year. If he gets on, he's one of the 3 Eagles that can really soar on the base paths, and he's quickly down in the count, 0-2.
And he also has excellent power for a leadoff guy. 5 times this year, he has hit a leadoff home run in his first at bat, and he has 9 home runs on the year. That is Bixler last year, second-team All-American, and this year a preseason All-American. Two different magazines.
Robertson, not a big strikeout pitcher. And he going for the K there, and it's 0-2. And Robertson came off the mound a little funny after that 0-2 pitch and kind of walking around gingerly in front of the hill here at Haymarket Park. Of course, Nebraska shares this diamond with the Lincoln Salt Dogs of the Northern League. They've been playing here for the last week. But the field and the mound, everything looks in great shape despite the extra play. Here's the 0-2. Bixler waves and misses. And Robertson off to a good start with a strikeout.
That's just a good fastball tailing back in on Bixler. Started out a little bit out of the zone, came right back into it, and Bixler could not catch up.
Tony Palazzolo, the second baseman, will come in as you watch the strikeout again. Just
nothing but heat right there.
Just a fastball challenging him, and it's one of the game plans for Nebraska today. They want to throw strikes and make Eastern Michigan put the ball into play. They feel like this team can't hit their pitching if they throw it over the plate and put it in the zone. And Robertson, a good example of that right there.
The other thing about Robertson also, Kevin, is he's a good sinker ball pitcher.
As he chops it on the ground to Mullinax. That'll be an easy play for Nebraska's second baseman. Quickly 2 up and 2 down in the Eastern Michigan first.
But Robertson is a good sinker ball pitcher, and you saw what happened right there. When he keeps that ball down, you're going to get a lot of ground balls out of a sinker ball pitcher. And that time, Palazzolo, again, grounding out to second base. So Jake Mullinax, a routine, easy ground ball for the second out here.
Real good hitter here in Derek Peterson, the leading hitter on the team at .383 for the third baseman. And he takes a pitch high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Peterson out of Toledo, Ohio. Hitting .383, 5 homers, 45 RBI. Started his career, as he looks at a strike, as a pitcher and a hitter for this Eastern Michigan team. The pitching didn't go so well. 0-7 in his first year as a pitcher with an earned run average over 6. He quickly became, for the most part, a full-time fielder, and that's really made the difference for Peterson.
The full-time fielder, as we see it again right here, and that's a slider right on the outside corner and just misses right there.
Robertson was halfway to the dugout. He thought it was called strike 3.
But what Derek Peterson became the consummate hitter, Kevin. He loves to hit the baseball, and that's a ball. That's out.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Peterson. Peterson sends that one high in the air to center. Lisey's got a beat on it. And Lisey will make the catch, and that retires the Eagles in the first. Nothing across for Eastern Michigan as Robertson sends him down in order. At the end of half an inning, Eastern Michigan nothing, and Nebraska coming up. And that man right there, Jeff Lisey, will be the first Husker up, as he has been for most of the last 2.5 years as a Nebraska Cornhusker. So a good start for Quentin Robertson, Aid, as he comes in and does exactly what Nebraska's coaching staff and pitching coach Rob Childress wanted him to do, send him down in order. Let's look at the lineup for the Huskers. 44-16, 20-8 overall in the Big 12 this year. Jeff Lisey leads it off. Joe Simakaitis batting second. Matt Hopper batting third. Alex Gordon in the cleanup spot. Curtis Ledbetter batting fifth. Daniel Bruce will bat sixth. Joe Gullion batting seventh. John Gross, the catcher today, bats eighth. And Jake Mullinax batting ninth for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. For Eastern Michigan in the field, the Eagles with Tim Klaus in left, Ryan Arnett in center, and Ryan Goleski in right field. Peterson, Bixler, Palazzolo, and Ford on the infield. Rovat behind the plate, and on the mound, the left-hander from Holly, Michigan. He has been a workhorse over the last couple of weeks, Aid. Dave Perron.
Dave Perron, 5'10", 180 pounds. You see he throws from the left side right there. 7-4 on the year with a .398 earned run average. There are the numbers. The last 2 times out, May 21st against Miami, went 7 1/3 innings, gave up 12 hits, lost that ball game 6-4, then came back in relief in the next to the last title game against Miami, won that ball game 3-2, pitched 6 innings, and he got that win in relief. So he's thrown 13 innings his last 2 times out. Again, an excellent curveball, 86-mile-an-hour fastball.
The dimensions of Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, if you have not been here before, just want to refresh your course. 335 to left, 403 to the cutout in left center, 395 to dead center, 400 to the cutout in right, and 325 down that right field line where Larry Putney told you earlier, that little chunk of concrete. It's a fair ball if it hits it, but it is not a home run. So we'll see if you can nail that little spot on the wall.
Pretty interesting rule, I would say. And again, it's one of those quirky little rules that every ballpark has. It has some little rule about where it goes and where's a home run, where it's not. But that is a Haymarket rule. As Dave Perron starts with a changeup.
Jeff Lizzie hitting .337 on the year, 7 homers, 33 RBI. Hard to believe this is a guy that hit just .211 in his first year as a Husker. He has certainly grown as a ball player throughout his Nebraska career, hitting .337 this year after a .371 season a year ago. The story has been told about Jeff Lizzie turning down 7th-round pick to come back to Nebraska. He said yesterday, no regrets at all. It's been everything I thought it would be and more. And he's looking forward to the postseason and looking forward to the future for him as a professional ball player, and he will be a professional ball player very soon.
Good, solid individual that loves this game. And
chopper on the ground. Palazzolo is there, and the easy play to first for the first out in the bottom of the first inning.
It's a changeup, off-speed pitch by Perron, and he got Lizzie to just get out a little bit of ahead of it. Got the top half of the baseball, top third of the baseball, pounded in the ground. Easy out as Palazzolo up over the forward. One thing we want to keep in mind today about Perron, Kevin, as we move along, is he has 10 pickoffs on the year. Excellent move to first base. Leads his team in that category. So we'll see if that has a tendency to slow down the Husker running game today.
Simakaitis looks at a strike, 0-1 on Nebraska's shortstop, Joe Simakaitis out of St. Louis, Missouri. The .296 hitter on the year, 1 homer, 34 RBI coming into play here in this regional. And the 0-1 from Perron. Off speed. And it's 1-1. Perron, his last 3 starts. Now, he started once and came in relief last week in the MAC tournament. His last 3 starts, an earned run average of over 6. He's allowed 38 hits in his last 22 innings pitched as a starter. And Simakaitis scorches that one to left. Plenty of room, though, for Tim Klaus to drift over and make the catch. Second out of the inning. Simakaitis out to left field. 2 up, 2 down in the Husker first, and Matt Hopper coming to the plate as we watch Simakaitis again. Just a fly ball, and Klaus with an easy play.
Breaking pitch right on into the fist, and Joe again pulling the baseball out into the gap there in left center. But that's a routine play for Klaus. He's over there, a little help from Arnett just to back him up just in case.
And now Nebraska's leading hitter, leading home run man, Matt Hopper stands in, looks at a pitch outside for a ball.
That struggled in the Big 12 tournament, just 2 for 14, but he walked 5 times and scored 6 runs. So, oh, look.
And Hopper sends that one deep to left, and that ball is going to get out of here in a hurry.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of the home run that Matt had here last year. Just a rope. Just a rope. Mark McGuire hit his 70th home run on that, a shot like that, too, Kevin, to break the record. I should say a 62nd home run, but watch this here. It's a changeup that he just hung right over the plate, and Matt waited on the baseball. Sometimes as a big hitter, you have a tendency to jump on those a little too quick, but man, what patience here.
Hey, nice catch.
Great catch.
How about that?
She was ready. She has the glove and everything.
She was wearing a green jersey. She'd be retiring the side.
She may be used here late in the ball game. We'll have to see if we can find a uniform and get her out here. But great catch. But again, good patience by Matt Hopper to wait on that changeup, Kevin, and then just attack it. That's what he did. He put it out here in about half a second.
1-0 Nebraska, and the 1-0 to Alex Gordon for a strike, 1-1. Matt Hopper, home run number 19 on the year, RBI number 60. And that gives the Huskers a 1-0 lead. The 1-1 is low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike to Alex Gordon. Gordon, .325 on the year. He was the Huskers representative on the All Big 12 tournament team. He hit .350 in the tournament with a homer and 9 RBI. And he cannot hold up 2-2.
Not a good swing by Alex Gordon, as he will admit when he sees the tape of the swing. Just had a little bit of doubt in the swing, and then when you see that chop, that hold back, there's a little bit of doubt there. But he doesn't have much doubt in his body, let me tell you.
Perron called strike 3 on the corner of Alex Gordon. So Nebraska's on the board. The home run by Matt Hopper gives the Huskers the lead. 1-0 Nebraska after 1 in Lincoln.
Hopper gives the Huskers a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to Haymarket Park. And it's interesting, guys, just before the game, right after BP, I was chatting with Matt Hopper a little bit and said, hey, how do you feel? He goes, I'm trying to figure out why my swing just doesn't feel right. He said, I feel like I'm losing the bat in my hand. I feel like I'm really tight, not swinging through the ball. somewhere between there and that last swing, he got it all figured out.
You know what hitters have often told me, Larry, is that they go to Larry Putney when they have problems with their swing, and a conversation with the hit doctor, Larry Putney, tends to turn things around.
You know what I tell them? Stay low, stay back, see the ball through, and it usually works, guys. I don't know what it is.
Well, you did a nice job there.
The hit doctor. All right, Larry, way to hear. Way to go.
Ryan Goleski leads it off for Eastern Michigan. This guy can send one out in a hurry. He's got 14 on the year, 52 RBI, hitting .315 for the Eagles. Took a home run swing there and came up empty, 1-1.
He's no stranger to the home run, Ryan Goleski. 48 in his career. First all time. He takes a big cut right there. Sinker pitch from Robertson. But again, 48 career home runs. First all time at Eastern Michigan.
Goleski chops that one foul. Ryan Goleski played last year with Harwich in the Cape Cod League. He was a teammate of Nebraska's Jason Birch on that team. Hit .270 with 4 homers, did Ryan Goleski. And has turned that Cape Cod League into another good performance this year.
Suppose Birch had a little bit of hand in the scouting report on Mr. Goleski.
May have given him a few tips.
And likewise, Goleski to his staff.
2-2 the count on Ryan Goleski. Robertson's retired the first 3 men he's faced so far. And the 2-2. High in the air, foul ground. Hopper trying to find room, and it'll drift into the stands about 3 rows back. Ryan Goleski, second team All-American a year ago. First team All-MAC and a preseason All-American, first team choice before this year. Now the numbers this year not quite what they were last year. He was a .381 hitter a year ago with 22 homers and 70 RBI. He's the all-time home run king in the history of Eastern Michigan baseball.
Still a chance. He is on the second ballot on the NCBWA All-American team, Kevin. So he and Bixler both have a chance. Here we have some more news here. All-Americans. Would he be on that?
Eastern Michigan, of course, out of Ypsilanti, Michigan, 40 miles or so away from Detroit and just about 10 miles from Ann Arbor. So it's right in the hotbed of athletics in the state of Michigan, and Eastern Michigan right in the shadow of that big brother wearing the Wolverine helmet. University of Michigan just a few miles down the road. The 3-2. Chopper on the ground. Simakaitis up with it. Has time, and the throw across in time for the first out in the second.
Good to see Joe Simakaitis handle that first one. A little bit of a hot grounder here off the bat of Goleski. Gets a pretty good bounce on it right into the mid, and again, routine for Joe. Joe, pretty solid last year. Had a little bit of a problem this year with the glove. 22 errors on the year, but he has really been solid the last 4 or 5 ball games. Solid on that play.
Ryan Ford, a .331 hitter. You look at the head coach, Roger Coryell. He's got the coolest spot down there on the field in the shade. Those guys out on the field are feeling the heat today. 85 degrees at first pitch here in Lincoln.
Although the grass is kind of that sunburst pattern as we talked about, as you get a good look at Ford there as he squares to maybe try and drag one. But kind of symbolic, I guess, Kevin, of the heat on the field, because it is a warm day. But that's good. Baseball ought to be played on warm days.
Absolutely.
Because we get enough of those cold ones
early in the season.
As Eastern Michigan does, too.
That one roped to right field, but right there is Daniel Bruce to make the catch for the second out. Boy, Ford, good contact on the Robertson offering, but Bruce right in its tracks for the second out.
Daniel Bruce positioned perfectly for this well-hit baseball off the bat of Ryan Ford. Bruce takes about 4 or 5 paces back into his right, and he's right there. Well done. Well scouted, well placed.
And the first pitch, swing and a miss by Ryan Arnett. The only Eagle to start every game this year. Arnett, a .320 hitter. 11 homers, 43 RBI. Good speed as well. It's a good all-around player. And Arnett ropes that one foul and quickly in the hole, 0-2. Robertson has sent the first 5 Eagles he's faced down. Good start to the game for the Husker right-hander. Nebraska leading 1-0 on a Matt Hopper homer. And the 0-2. Tries the outside corner, cannot get the call, and it's 1-2.
Good ball call that is by the home plate umpire Clougherty, as the ball just tails out, but he gets to strike out right there.
3 up, 3 down in the Eagles' second. 1.5 in the books. 1-0 Nebraska.
Huskers still hanging on to the 1-0 lead at Haymarket Park. I'm joined now by Nebraska Athletic Director Steve Peterson. A new excitement within Nebraska athletics right now. What a great way to continue that here today.
It's fabulous. You know, here we are on a Friday afternoon. This fabulous crowd watching this great team play in a beautiful park. You know, we're really fortunate, and it's a thrill to be a part of this.
The crowd obviously today very good with both the berms full. How important also is it for the fans statewide to be able to watch this, especially when you get out in the western part of the state, continue to create that goodwill with baseball?
Well, you know, we know that people can't be at everything we do. We have a lot of events, and so as often as we can to try to give them a chance to see this team and be a part of this, and then we hope it inspires them to want to come down and see them play in person too. But you know, it's like everything we do in Nebraska. This is all about team. This is all about everybody, and the person right now watching in Hastings or Chadron or Scottsbluff is just as important to what we're doing as the people that are here today.
In fact, you're taking your program to the people this summer with Husker Nation.
Well, we're really excited. You know, June 26th, we are going to take off and we're going to blanket the state. I know we can't go everywhere, but we're trying to get in most regions of the state. And that's a nice hit right there.
Yes, it was.
and to get out and have a chance for our people all over our state to meet our new football coaches and have a little fun.
Thanks very much, Steve. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
Great to have Ledbetter back in the lineup, huh, guys?
Steve Peterson taking the role of play-by-play there for a minute. Better watch my back.
Absolutely. And, again, well done by Ledbetter. You're right, Larry. Good to see him back in the lineup, back playing after that injury, that injured shoulder. He didn't play down in the Big 12 tournament, but now he's up and he gets a base hit.
Daniel Bruce will get a chance to swing for the first time today. 304 hitter, 3 homers, 27 RBI. Ledbetter a lead at first, and Bruce will put the bunt down the first base side. Beautiful bunt. Bruce trying to beat it out, and he does. What a beautiful bunt by Daniel Bruce, and the Huskers have something brewing in the second.
Trying to move the runner over to second base. Not only does Daniel Bruce do that, but he also retains first base on just about the best way you can do a bunt right there. You need to get it past the pitcher. You have a left-handed pitcher. He's falling towards the third base line. He cannot make that play. So this is just a very, very tough play for anybody to make. He put it right in the perfect spot. Daniel Bruce handles the bat very, very well.
First and second, nobody out for Nebraska. And Joe Gullion, the designated hitter today, will get his first look. 245 on the year, 1 homer, 15 RBIs for the junior from Leawood, Kansas. And Gullion shows bunt and the pitch upstairs for a ball, 1-0.
Well done by Gullion there, as we talk about all the time, Kevin, when you're bunting the baseball. You saw that pitch, he saw the pitch going up, so you lay off it because there's only one place that ball's going to go. It's going to go in the air. So Joe laid off it, again, took that ball, and they'll probably square again right here. Got to move those runners.
Perron's 1-0. That's low and inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Joe Gullion.
Well done again by Gullion. Good patience, good eye. Just looking to make sure that ball is where it needs to be when he bunts it. Needs to be up around that belt area. And then just handle the bat from there, just like Daniel Bruce did.
The 2-0. Gullion puts it in the air, and it's foul. A little too strong a bunt that time from Gullion.
Yeah, fortunate that the third baseman over there, Derek Peterson, not charging. Obviously, he's watching. Depending what kind of play they have on defense out there, you know, he's got a runner coming into third base, so he's going to be holding there for the most part. Let's say put a little wheel play on, as they call it in baseball, where the shortstop would cover the bag back there, but he wasn't charging, so Gullion has a little life.
The 2-1. Gullion squares and takes it high, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike on Gullion.
Good at bat here. Good at bat.
Ledbetter out at second. He led off with a single. Daniel Bruce then followed with a bunt hit. 2 on, nobody out, and Joe Gullion ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Let's see if they start up here. It might be a little bit of an aggressive play here for the Huskers, but let's see if the runners start up.
They hold, and Gullion bunts and fouls it off. 3-2. Gullion not happy with the attempt there on the bunt.
Now that was a pitch that breaking down into him, and that was a good pitch to bunt right there, but not able to get it down, so he should be upset with himself. As Mike Anderson, the coach, Husker coach, lays out another bevy of signals over there at third base.
Well, now we'll see what they do, if they take the bunt sign off or if they allow Gullion to bunt with 2 strikes. Runners at first and second, nobody out. 1-0 Nebraska. Showing bunt, and Perron steps off. Dave Perron in his first real jam of this early going here at the NCAA Regional. Game one of a very busy weekend. Will be with you for all of Nebraska's games throughout the weekend. The 3-2. Gullion bunts. He bunts it foul. He's out on strikes.
After all of that, Kevin, getting that ball up a little bit, and he went for it. Looked like that was going to be ball 4. But he went ahead and went after it, and he's out. Bunted foul, he's out. Let's see where it goes again. See, the ball's up. No doubt about it. Ball's up. Let it go. It's ball 4.
So Gullion trying to make a play, instead bunts out. Second strikeout of the day, recorded by Perron, and that's a big out for the left-hander from Eastern Michigan. Now John Gross, who has been struggling at the plate as of late, did get a hit against Baylor in the Big 12 tournament. That broke an 0 for 22 slump, but Gross's average down under 300 for the first time in a very long time.
He's dropped off 100 points on that average, and a little under 100 points, I might add, but looking for a base hit here. He's back behind the plate. He's happy about that. It's a let-up pitch, was way high. Run the count to 2-0.
Brad Robat coming out to talk with his pitcher aide. He didn't like the way that pitch was offered, and now Coryell will make his way out from the bullpen. And earlier today we talked with Roger Coryell, got his thoughts on his senior left-hander Dave Perron.
Well, Dave is a left-hander, of course. Like to have him change speeds, use his changeup, breaking ball, try to keep the hitters off balance. Has a good move to first base, so we're hoping he can control the running game against Nebraska. But good competitor. Looking for good things from David today.
1-0 Nebraska as Coryell continues to chat with his left-hander. Their bullpen a little bit depleted. Ross Winemko not with the team this weekend. He had a family conflict, and that's one of the bigger guys in the bullpen. In fact, tied with Perron for the team lead in wins. He's second on the team in earned run average, and he is not with the team this weekend. He is their closer, their leading guy out of the back of that pen, and without Winemko in that pen, that shortens it a little bit for Eastern Michigan. John Gross ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Ball 3 now to John Gross, and Gross very patient, will likely be taking here at 3-0.
I would think so, Kevin. Take it 3-0. See if that strike comes and be ready to rip next time around.
Upstairs for ball 4. So he walks him loaded with 1 out here in the second, and Jake Mullinax with a chance to add to that Nebraska lead. Ledbetter at third, Bruce at second, and now John Gross at first with his 11th walk of the year.
Jake Mullinax going to step in, the Huskers' second baseman here this afternoon. He's had a good year for the Huskers, hitting .288. Has yet to drive 1 out, but all he wants now is a base hit. Just get the ball in play. Infield in a little bit.
In at the corners, back at second and short, waiting for a double play ball, and Perron way outside for a ball. Perron with now 41 walks in 93 innings pitched, so he's not a wild pitcher by nature. Although in his last 3 starts, he's walked 11 in 22 innings. And Mullinax, a high fly ball to shallow left. Klaus coming in. Ledbetter tagging. Here comes the throw to the plate. Ledbetter on his horse, and the throw is not in time. Ledbetter with a great tag. Got in there safe and tagged the bag before he was tagged by Robat.
Well, Brad Robat, the catcher, had the plate blocked perfectly, and Ledbetter, a wonderful slide. He slid by the plate on the left-hand side and then stuck in the tag as he slid by the plate. Well done by Ledbetter on the play. There you see Klaus taking aim, and here comes the throw, and a pretty good throw it is.
Yeah, real good throw by Klaus. Came in on 1 hop, got in there, and see the tag by Ledbetter as he tags to the back of the plate. Home plate umpire Tim Clockerty right there to make the call. So the Nebraska with runners at first and third now and 2 down.
That catcher has that plate blocked, and you've got the times we see Lizzie try to drag one down. It's a good idea to try to slide by the plate and then try to stick the hand in just like Ledbetter did. That's really the way to do it. You don't really want to take that catcher on all that stuff if you really don't have to, and he did have to do that. So good job by Ledbetter to give his Huskers another run here.
The 1-0 to Lizzie. In there for a strike, 1-1. Lizzie grounded out to second his first time up. He's 0 for 1 today. Bruce is at third, and at first base, John Gross. Huskers leading 2-0 here, bottom of the second, 2 down in the inning. And the 1-1 to Lizzie. Squirts that one foul down that left side, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Two-time academic All-American of the Year. Just recently announced that. Casida Verizon Academic All-American of the Year. Not just on the team, but of the year. The top player in the year as far as academic All-American goes, Kevin. And that is outstanding. 2 times in a row now. Last year, this year.
Lizzie, a smart player as well. There goes the runners. They've got him tied up trying to do the double steal, and Bruce is out at the plate. Oh, wow. You don't see that very often. The double steal, trying to steal second and home. Nebraska out at the plate, and the inning is over. 2-0 Nebraska after 2 in Lincoln.
Back at Hawks Field, NCAA Regionals, and Nebraska on top 2-0 through 2. And guys, really a smart move here and a very alert move on the pitcher Dave Piron, who stepped off the mound before he threw, because in a situation like that, when guys break early, the tendency is to either rush the pitch home, and at that point he's going to be safe because he has such a big jump, or to make the throw without the step, and that would be a balk. So really an alert move, and a good move's under some pressure by Dave Piron, the pitcher.
And a real good job of blocking the plate aid by Rovat.
Yeah, Rovat did a good job again of blocking the plate for the second time in a row now, but very poised on the part of Piron to step off, because a lot of times you will see the balk in that move. And again, that's experience. He's a senior, and he knows how to handle the situation. But again, you want to try to get that baseball back towards second base. You want to make sure he throws the ball back to the second baseman or shortstop, whoever's covering back there, and then try to get it done from there. But it happens just a little bit too quick. But again, it's early in the ball game. Aggressive base running by the Huskers, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Lower third of the order for the Eagles here in the third against Quentin Robertson, who's sent down the first 6 Eagles he has faced. Todd Kimling, Tim Klaus, and Brad Rovat. The numbers on Kimling, 274 on the year as the pitch is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. On Todd Kimling, the junior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. 3 homers on the year, and the 1-0. Low ball 2-0. Todd Kimling hit his first college home run last year at the University of Tennessee, and he ripped it off the scoreboard, and that one he rips into right field for a base hit, the first hit of the day for the Eagles of Eastern Michigan.
Kimling on first base there. Matt Hopper in the picture also, and well done by Kimling. Ball just getting by just barely. Jake Mullinex, ball a little up and out. Somehow he's able to get around on the baseball and pull it. Usually that ball's going to go to left field, but Kimling able to get the bat around and get it on into right field to pull the baseball. Start the inning here.
Tim Klaus, we saw that throw he made out of left field last inning. He's now up, 287 hitter, no homers, 32 RBI. And the first pitch from Robertson, a strike. Lake Orion, Michigan is where Tim Klaus calls home. 288 hitter a year ago. So very consistent over the last 2 years. Good speed man. 17 stolen bases on the year in 20 attempts. Good accurate base runner. And a good accurate arm out in left field. The 0-1. That one looped towards shallow right. Mullinex makes the catch. The throw to first. They cannot double off Todd Kimling.
For a moment there, I thought that was going to just be an easy double play as Kimling broke. He thought the ball was going to flare out and drop in. And he was about, a little past a third of the way down the line going to second base. There you see Mullinex making the play. And Jake was able to get balance and make a good throw, Kevin. I think they got a double play, but didn't happen as Kimling got back to the bag.
And you see Mullinex, he throws off his back foot. Look at that right there. Didn't get a chance to get set and kind of short-armed it over to first.
Even a good throw would have made it a close play, but again, Kimling probably was.
Gross's throw down to second, and it is not in time, and it squirts into center field, but smartly backing up was Jeff Lizzie, and Kimling will not advance. Low throw, not a bad throw from John Gross, just a little bit low, and we'll watch it again.
Kimling comes up limping on the play. Here's Gross coming out of there. Let's take a good look. That's a pretty good throw, actually. That's a throw that's a play that needs to be made. Jake Mullinex over there covering, not able to handle a baseball, and Kimling came up just a little bit in the limp category there, but I think he's all right.
Just his third stolen base of the year, and that puts the first Eagle in scoring position, and Brad Rovat hitting 207 in that 9th spot. Down in the count, 0-1. Inside, good play made by Gross behind the plate. It's 1-1. It's the best throw John Gross has made since coming back from his injury. We have not had the chance to see too much of John behind the plate over the last 2 months, but that was a pretty solid throw.
It was, Kevin. He's been nursing a sore arm.
There goes the runner trying to break for third. That one lined into center field. A base hit. Livesey up with it. They'll wave him around third. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's offline. 1 run in for the Eagles, and it's 2-1. Nebraska's lead cut in half.
This pitch was up a little bit. Brad Rovat, the catcher, it looked like that pitch was up around the eyes. Let's take a look here. Just up around the shoulders there a little bit, but he just chopped it into center field. Hit a nice line drive. And now here's the throw. And the throw takes a bad bounce, takes a funny bounce. Goes to the right side. Got a 2-1 ball game.
Rovat, RBI number 14 on the year for the catcher. Just his 20th hit of the season, but that one really pays a big dividend for Eastern Michigan with a 1-out run. Now the top of the order, Brian Bixler will stand in against Quentin Robertson. And that one looped to short. Joe Simakaitis right behind the bag makes the catch for the second out. Bixler attacking the first pitch from Quentin Robertson, and an easy pop to Simakaitis.
Looked like a slider right there, and again, just got under it just a little bit too much. Routine play for Joe.
2 down in the inning for Palazzolo. Grounded out his first time up. Rovat at first, now 2 down, and the throw over, and Rovat back in. Rovat 1 stolen base in 1 attempt this year. Not likely to run. Those catchers, rarely do you send them.
Can't find a way down to second base most of the time.
The bunt foul over the head of John Gross. Well, I didn't want to say that, but you as a former catcher could say that.
Sometimes our direction is wanting as we see the attempted bunt, and there's a breaking pitch, and he got under it and went right over the shoulder of both the catcher and the umpire. There's John Gross. Thank God for masks.
The 0-1. 1-1 the count on Palazzolo. One of the team captains for this Eastern Michigan squad, Tony Palazzolo. He's the leader, the vocal leader of this Eagle team. If they need somebody to light a fire under him midway through the game, they'll look to Tony Palazzolo. He's not afraid to do it either. Hop foul and out of play, 1-2. Sterling Heights, Michigan for Tony Palazzolo. That's where he's from. Last season, walked 41 times. He's got a good eye at the plate. This year the numbers don't reflect it as much, but still more walks than strikeouts on the year for Palazzolo. Rovat at first, 2 out in a 2-1 game. Nebraska in the lead. And the 1-2. Grounded into right field. Another base hit. The third hit of the day for the Eagles, and the inning stays alive. Good at bat by Palazzolo. Fought off a pitch and squirted it into right.
Indeed, Kevin, a very good at bat for Palazzolo, as that fastball tailing in on Palazzolo that time, and he was able somehow to fight it off and hit it into right field. And we talked about a scrappy bunch at the top of the show, and that's what we're seeing right now, a scrappy Eastern Michigan Eagle baseball team. They didn't come here to lose. They came here to win, and they want respect, and they mentioned that yesterday at the press conference. That's what we're here to do. Our goal is to get to Omaha. We stopped at Rosenblatt Stadium on the way in. We saw it, we felt it, we touched it. We want to get there. That's what they're trying to do.
1 ball, no strikes on the leading hitter on this team, Derek Peterson. A hit likely plates the tying run as Rovat stands out at second. Mike Anderson looking on as we watch that pitch again.
Fastball a little bit up there, up in the zone, but in the strike zone for a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike, couple gone. Robertson trying to end the inning here.
The 1-1. Peterson flares it out foul. 1-2 the count now on Derek Peterson. Quentin Robertson, who had an easy first 2 innings, mowed him down in order, has run into some trouble here in the third with 3 hits allowed, a run in, and 2 on for the Eagles. 2-1 Nebraska. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Derek Peterson. That one looped into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Rovat around third. He stumbled on his way around third. Here comes the throw to the plate, offline, and we're tied at 2.
Well, we've seen 3 baseballs that have been hit in the flare category. First 2 were caught. Now this one is going to flare into right field off the bat of Derek Peterson. He leads his team in hits with 77, make it 78 right now. And he picks up an RBI on this little flare single into right field, and it ties up the ball game.
And Rob Childress will make his way out to talk with his right-hander Quentin Robertson. 2-2, Nebraska and Eastern Michigan all tied up here in the third.
Kevin, what's sort of instrumental about that last play is Rovat was on second base. He's there catching with 2 outs, so he's going on any ball that's going to be hit. So again, speed maybe not as big a factor as it might be. He's going on contact, and he was able to go ahead and score, and he on that flare for the base hit.
The 2003 NCAA Baseball Regional on NETV Sports is made possible in part by the financial contributors to Nebraskans for Public Television. You too can help support your statewide network and become a member of NPTV by calling toll-free 800-634-6788. You can also join NPTV over the internet. Log on to our network website at mynptv.org, click membership, and follow the prompts. If you're enjoying our coverage of Nebraska baseball's road to Omaha, join NPTV today. Let's go downstairs to Larry Putney.
Guys, up next, Ryan Gillespie, the home run hitter for Eastern Michigan. And you mentioned that he was a teammate in the Cape Cod League with Jason Birch. Jason said it's really hard to tell how to pitch him in a Cape Cod League because they use wooden bats. Pitchers are a little bit better, but he said fastball inside, then fastball outside, avoid anything over the plate.
We'll see if they take that advice, and the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
Slider right on the outside corner. Wonderful pitch by Robertson that time. This young man that can hurt you. Had 22 home runs last year. We talked about his career at Eastern Michigan, leading with 48, first all time.
And he takes a home run cut again, and it's 0-2.
Looking for the big fly right there, no doubt about it.
Well, this is a guy that can turn a game around in a hurry. Eastern Michigan back to even it up at 2-2, but if Gillespie gets a hold of one with that swing, it'll be 5-2 very quickly.
That's another slider off the arm of Robertson. See where he goes here. See if he'll put one out.
The 0-2.
Puts one up and out. Yep.
Trying to get the call. The crowd trying to coach the call as well from Tim Clockerty. He is not swayed by either John Gross or the crowd.
Fastball, thought maybe it tailed in right at the last second, but just missed there. Run at 1-2. So let's see if he goes slider again here, Kevin, because Gillespie, quite frankly, didn't handle a slider very well first time or this time.
He'll step off, no throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryan Gillespie. Critical moment here for Quentin Robertson in Nebraska. Their lead is gone. It's a 2-2 ball game. Eastern Michigan with 4 hits in the inning and 2 men still on. The 1-2. Gillespie, a little looper into right field, but Bruce is there and he retires the side. 2 runs come across on 4 hits in the third, and after 2.5, we're all knotted up at 2.
All knotted at 2 at the Lincoln Regional NCAAs, and Huskers now at the top of the lineup, and that means Jeff Lisey coming to the plate. And I'm joined now by Jeff's father, Bob Lisey. And talk about Jeff's decision in the offseason to decide to come back for his senior season in Nebraska.
Well, it was obviously a real tough decision for him to make. But when he, came to Nebraska 4 years ago, he came with the intentions that he was going to be here 4 years, and he loves playing, loves the college game, so that was it.
He obviously cost himself some money, and I think he knew that before this season started. Talk about that, kind of trying to balance that decision.
It was a hard decision for him, and you're right. I think he knew going in that if he came back, he was really risking some money. But he also got another year of school, and I don't know. He plays it for the game right now and not for the money.
It all becomes worth it when they make the CWS later, right?
I hope so.
Bob played a little ball himself, played at Creighton back in the 70s. Bob, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. As Dave Perron, his team helped him out offensively. Now he's going to have to try to send Nebraska's bats down. Lisey, of course, was at the plate when Daniel Bruce was caught trying to steal home. The 3-0 to Lisey. In there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike on Jeff Lisey. It'll be Lisey, Sivakaitis, and Hopper in the Husker third.
Well, very refreshing to hear those kind of remarks from Dad. As Lizzie fouls one back to the screen. Kevin, you know, too many times these days youngsters see the dollar signs no matter what they are. They'll take off and go for it as far as professional sports go. But Jeff decided, I'm staying here. Love this game. I love the college atmosphere, as his dad said. Why not? You take a look around today and wow, college baseball. Great stuff.
Hard to think about college baseball, though, when you've got a guy waving perhaps 6 figures in your face. That's hard to do as a 21, 22-year-old kid. That's why we see so many guys leave early. That money is an awful hard thing to turn down.
If it's a low six-figure amount, as one goes through the left side.
Solid leadoff single for Jeff Lizzie. Lizzie, though, as he said yesterday, no regrets. He's happy to be here. He's excited about the postseason, and he will have a chance to play pro ball, and that's really all he wants to do. And you see that good swing.
Pitch to the outside, and he deposited where it needs to go, and that's to left field. Well done by Lizzie. Down at first base, he becomes a threat. 19 stolen bases on the year. Total offensive threat for the Huskers.
Simakaitis flied out his first time up. 2-2 our score, bottom of the third. And Perron, we told you about the good move. That's not the good move from Perron, but this is a guy that, being a left-hander, that's one thing that'll help hold Lizzie a little closer, but he's a left-hander with a good move, and that'll really try to keep the Nebraska base running game in check. Simakaitis ahead in the count now, 1 ball and no strikes.
Joe Simakaitis looking down at third base. His coach, Mike Anderson, down there just laid out an array of signs.
The move thrown over to the right field side. Lizzie on his way to second, and Lizzie's going to have to hold there as it went into the tarp, and they'll give him third now. So the ball thrown away by Perron, and Lizzie will move all the way to third base. He gets second on the steal, and they'll give him the extra base because it went into the tarp and behind the tarp on that right side.
Gets the base +1, so that puts him at third base as that ball lodged over underneath the tarp over there. And just like that, with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning, Huskers gave up 2 in the top of this inning. Now they're battling back right away, Kevin, and coming back saying, we're going to get back and score a run here, as Perron throws one down the line.
Simakaitis now with an opportunity to drive in the go-ahead run here, bottom of the third inning, 2-2 game. Simakaitis waits, and the pitch up high for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Lizzie at third with nobody out here in the third inning.
Simakaitis hitting .330 with runners in scoring position. Lizzie down at third base as the bullpen now sees activity.
Trevor Carpenter up for Eastern Michigan, and Simakaitis lines it into right field for a base hit. 3-2 Nebraska as Lizzie comes home to score.
Nebraska battles back after giving up 2 in the top of the inning. They come back here and pick up run number 3 and take the lead. Joe Simakaitis picks up RBI number 35 on the year. Here it is again. Fastball moving right into Simakaitis, and great job of hitting right there.
Nebraska's scored a run now in each of the first 3 innings. Matt Hopper scored the first. He stands in now. Hopper with a rocket home run to left field in that first inning. And Perron will stay on the outside part of the plate, misses for ball 1. Simakaitis, pretty decent speed at first. He's got 8 stolen bases on the year. Matt Hopper, the 1-0 from Perron. Low and inside for ball 2. Carpenter continuing to loosen down in the pen. When it's regional time, everybody's got a very short leash. The 2-0 to Hopper. Way inside, ball 3. 3-0 now on Nebraska's leading home run hitter.
Perron trying to make sure here that he gives up nothing to the Big 12's leading home run hitter, not only for the season but also for his career.
The 3-0. Hopper taking all the way, and he takes a strike.
Matt Hopper automatic there on the take, as he'll be ready to go right now to pull the trigger, but Perron again trying to bounce his way around Matt Hopper.
The 3-1 way inside and high for ball 4. So Hopper will get the walk, as Perron gave him a little something to think about with this ball 4 pitch.
Second walk given up by Perron this afternoon, and again he was not going to give Dave, check it, Matt Hopper, anything good to hit. So he just put one up around his shoulders to make him think about next time he comes up to plate if he's indeed still out there. And now that'll bring up more power for the Huskers. Alex Gordon.
Perron will certainly stay in to face the left-handed hitting Alex Gordon. We'll see how quick a hook Roger Coryell has after this at-bat. Nobody out, 1 in and 2 on for Nebraska here in the third. And the Huskers thinking big inning at this point. Gordon looks at a ball low as he showed bunt 1-0. Mike Anderson running through the signs down at third. 3-2 Nebraska, bottom of the third in game 1 of the start of Nebraska's run in the postseason. 1 ball, no strikes. And a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Pretty tough pitch right there from Perron. Alex not sure about that call, but he's, you know what, he's a freshman, but man, I tell you, he's playing like a senior. He's playing like he's been around here a long time.
1 ball, 1 strike. On the outside corner, good pitch from Perron for strike 2. He has nailed the outside corner last 2 pitches, Abe.
Indeed, and again off speed too, which fooled Alex right there, but that is an excellent pitch right there.
As a hitter, not a lot you can do with that pitch. That's a perfect pitcher strike. And the 1-2. Missed outside, 2-2 the count. Gordon, the Lincoln native, a Lincoln Southeast High School graduate. One of the most highly touted recruits in the state in a very long time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Gordon ropes it foul, stays alive, 2-2.
Alex Gordon, great baseball player in high school, as Kevin just alluded to it. Also a great football player. Had 7 interceptions his senior year to lead the state.
Simakaitis at second, Hopper at first. Gordon sends that one down the left field line. Room for Klaus as he comes over, but he cannot get there in time, and it'll drop foul. Long run for Tim Klaus, and he came up about a step or 2 short of making a play on that ball.
Step or 2 short, which means a little life at the plate for Alex Gordon. 2-2 count, nobody out here. Trying to pick up his teammate out at second base.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Gordon's pitch into left field. Klaus coming in a hurry, has to hurry, and he makes the catch. That ball continued to drift in on him, and Klaus makes a nice play on what was a routine pop.
Well, the wind really is picked up now. We thought the weather was going to, the wind was going to change and turn around and go from left field to right field. It has. It's blowing quite briskly out there, and Klaus really fooled by all of that. And you know what? Frankly, he was lucky to make that play, Kevin. They had to come a long way. So
earlier today, we talked with Mike Anderson about Curtis Ledbetter.
Curtis Ledbetter's been out for a week with slight separation in his shoulder. He's better this week. He's about 90%, wants to go. He's had a good week of BP, and we're going to start him in left field today, and we'll get something out of him today.
There go the runners, and the throw down to third base. Not in time. The double steal for Nebraska puts runners at second and third with 1 out.
Great jump by Simakaitis. Perron took 1 look, and that was it, and Simakaitis was going. And not a chance down there.
They're bringing everybody in a little bit. The infield will come in now with the runners at second and third. 3-2 Nebraska leading. The infield in at all 4 positions. Perron ahead in the count, 0-1. Big rip from Ledbetter, 0-2.
This situation, Kevin, advantage Ledbetter as that infield is drawn in, as you just said. There's a fastball going right by Ledbetter, and again, big cut right there. A little bit of the head out of the zone right there, but 0-2 now. Ledbetter head, and look now, he's choked up. He just wants to slap it somewhere.
Pitch upstairs for a ball, 1-2.
That's good to see, though, because sometimes you see guys still down at the end of the bat with 2 strikes on them, and now you've got runners at second and third. All you got to do is just get the ball in play. The infield is in. You've got the advantage. So just hit that little flare now and then you have a run, probably 2 runs, if you can hit that little flare.
Big moment for Perron here, and Ledbetter ropes it down the left field line. Fair 2 runs are going to score. Ledbetter around first. He's on his way to second base with a double, and Nebraska leads it 5-2.
For Curtis Ledbetter, his 13th double on the year. And again, he was choked up on the bat and just waited, trying to slap it somewhere. He got it. He got it right down the line and brought home 2 runs and gave his team a 3-run advantage.
Went down and got that low pitch from Perron, and Ledbetter knew what to do with it. And it's good to see him back in the lineup, 2 for 2. If you're a Husker fan, you love having Curtis Ledbetter in there. Great hitter, great power, and he has given Nebraska a 3-run lead at 5-2.
Coach Anderson talked about slight separation. Yes, indeed, had that. Healed up fairly well enough for him to hit. He said he was about 90%, and maybe 95% at game time. But man, he has played well here. 2 hits on the afternoon and 2 RBIs. As Coryell now is going to, Roger Coryell, the coach, is going to come out as Daniel Bruce is getting ready to hit.
They've had activity going in the pen. Carpenter's been warming for some time, and on this day, he is certainly warm by now. Roger Coryell did not want to do this. As we mentioned earlier, the bullpen short today and all weekend long. When Emco not with the team, their leading man at the back of the bullpen. Trevor Carpenter is the man out there that's loose and ready to go, and we'll see what Coryell, no move yet to the pen for Roger Coryell as he talks with feisty left-hander Perron. Perron does not want to go. He wants to stay in the game. As he and Coach Coryell chat about the situation, and they're going to go to the pen. So Trevor Carpenter, the freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, will be thrown right into the fire here in Lincoln. And Dave Perron's day is over as he goes 2 1/3 innings, allows 5 runs on 6 hits. And his error on the throw over to first base on Lisey at the start of this inning, it really opened up the floodgates for him and for Nebraska.
It did, Kevin. It gave them a chance to get things going here, and it's exactly what the Huskers have done. So again, Perron, 13 innings in the tournament. That's a lot of innings to come back and start now.
Well, for the past 3 years, NETV Sports has brought the viewers of Nebraska live coverage of the NCAA baseball regionals as the Huskers have made their quest to the College World Series in Omaha. Now we'd like to hear from you. We want to know if these telecasts have been important to you. Any feedback you'd like to give us, pro or con, would be welcome. Maybe you have an interesting story about family or friends getting together and watching the games on NETV. Your comments would help us decide our future program schedules. Take a moment and write us at NETV Sports as you look at some of the highlights of the great Storm game between Nebraska and Creighton a year ago. Just jot down some notes. We'd sure love to hear from you at NETV Sports, P.O. Box 83111, Lincoln, Nebraska 68501, or you can email us at netvsports@unl.edu. And we'd sure like to know if these telecasts have been important to you and just really your thoughts, any feedback you have, pro or con. We'll take the negative along with the positive, although we certainly like the positive. But drop us a note and let us know if these programs are as important to you as we certainly hope they are. And we talked with Steve Peterson earlier. You heard the athletic director of Nebraska talk about how important it was to his athletic department to have broadcasts like this on throughout the state of Nebraska to give folks who are, and we know we've got a great audience in Scottsbluff and Chadron, all our friends in the western half of the state that are joining us today. And we're certainly glad to have you along, and we know it's important. So drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
Trevor Carpenter on the mound, Kevin, I couldn't agree more as far as exposure for the program, both statewide and even outside of the state for people that pick it up outside the state. But Trevor Carpenter will be the new pitcher for Eastern Michigan. Right-hander. He's a freshman out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And on the year, there are the numbers right there, 3-5, 5.80 earned run average. Trevor Carpenter, 6'2", 195 pounds, and he is going to see if he can come in and stop the flow right here with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Huskers again have played in 3 runs thus far.
He's given up a lot of hits, has Carpenter, in 63 2/3 innings, 86 hits allowed on the year. And the pitch nails Daniel Bruce right on the elbow. No stranger to that. Daniel Bruce hit for the 39th time in his career, and Bruce makes his way to first base. He's Nebraska's career holder in hit batsman, and we'll watch it again. Just plunked right off the elbow. Roger Coryell out to ask, where did it hit him?
Didn't move a lick, and Coryell's is saying, hey, he's got to make some kind of effort to get out of the way. I don't know that Daniel really did that, but
I would say he did.
Roger and the home plate umpire are having that discussion right now. That's Tim Fogarty. And discussion over, and let's move ahead. Trevor Carpenter, last time out against Kent State, pitched 5 in the 3rd innings in the tournament. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of those earned. And he's trying to stem the flow right here, as I said a moment ago, against Nebraska.
Joe Gullion, who struck out on a bunt attempt in the 2nd, will get his first look at Carpenter. And Gullion puts that on the ground, might be 2. Flip to 2nd for 1. On to 1st, double play, and out of the inning, Eastern Michigan retires the Huskers. But not before Nebraska scores 3. And after 3, 5-2, Big Red.
$6,000 plus at Hawks Field, Haymarket Park, and hope everybody brought their sunscreen because it is a warm one and the sun's shining bright here this afternoon. Guys, a sign of a great team is answering when the other team scores, and that's exactly what Nebraska did. The Eagles put up 2 in the top of the 3. Huskers come back and put up 3 in the bottom of the 3rd to take a 5-2 lead. And you know, this regional thing, nothing new to Nebraska. They have now been in their 5th consecutive regional, and by the way, they've been the #1 seed in 4 straight regionals. There are only 3 other programs nationally that have been #1 seeds for 4 straight years. Those programs: Stanford, Florida State, LSU. Wow.
Now, what have they ever done in college baseball, though?
Pretty good company, Larry. Good point to make out there as the Huskers here trying to get it done this weekend, move on to next weekend. We'll see where the location ends up being for next weekend, and then ultimately help the College World Series, Kevin. As we move here to the top of the 4th inning, great to have you with us. Wonderful day. Come on out to the ballpark if you have time. The first hitter is Ryan Ford, and he promptly strokes one into center field for a base hit. So the leadoff hitter again here is on the sacks as Ryan Ford flew out his last time up. He is the first baseman for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. That'll bring up Ryan Arnett. Struck out his last time up. He leads this team with 47 strikeouts, does Ryan Arnett. Make it 48 now. It came in today hitting .322. He had 11 home runs and 43 runs driven in. Ryan Arnett, the center fielder. Earlier this season, and back in March, he was the MAC Player of the Week. Hit .500 that week for his ball club. As he strokes this one past first baseman Matt Hopper on into right field, and Ford will hold up at second base. But again, jumping on the first pitch is Ryan Arnett. So two balls pitched, Kevin. 2 strokes.
I got to tell you, Ade, I'm very impressed with the demeanor of Eastern Michigan. They could very easily be intimidated, as Larry told you at the beginning of the program. Their home attendance total on the year is just a shade above 3,700. There's got to be close to 7,000 folks in the ballpark here today, and they aren't the least bit intimidated. They got down 2-0, came right back, scored 2 runs. They're down 5-2. What do? First 2 pitches they see, they line them for singles. This is a scrappy bunch, as you mentioned, and very impressed with their demeanor.
Going after that first pitch again, a let-up pitch off the arm of Quentin Robertson on the mound for the Huskers, and the hitter is Todd Kimling. Singled, stole a base, and scored a run last time up. Kimling out of Scottsdale, Arizona, played at Cactus Shadows High School. 5'10", 185. Fouls this one back to the screen. So very quickly now, Robertson in the driver's seat on the mound right now. Kevin, we talked about there's Mike Anderson's young son. He's in his 5th year now. He's a veteran. But we talked about this ball club, this Eastern Michigan ball club, as the runner made a bluff at second base. They lost 10 of their first 12 games. They played, I think, the first 12 games, every team they played was nationally ranked. They lost 10 of 12 to start out. Tough start, very tough start. But then they scrapped. They got back into it. Their coach, Roger Coryell, said, we're a solid baseball team. Next pitch in there, swing and a miss. Fouled off, beg your pardon. But again, here, we'll see it again, Kev.
Just got a piece of it.
Ouch.
Gross could not hang on, and so Kimling keeps himself alive. Kimling, of course, who singled and scored back in the 3rd inning, trying to do some damage to that 5-2 Nebraska lead here in the 4th.
That's the kind of foul tip sometimes the catcher gets on the open hand. Is the 1-2 pitches on the way. It's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Todd Kimling. But Roger Coryell, again, his team, he said yesterday, as that pitch is definitely outside. He said, but they're a scrappy bunch. We play solid baseball. We're not too overawed by anybody. And swing and a miss, strike 3, and Kimling is gone. Third strikeout now for Robertson.
Good off-speed pitch by Quentin Robertson. Got Kimling guessing a little bit on the pitches, and Kimling just could not connect as Robertson lets up just a bit, sinks out of the zone, and Kimling able to come up with nothing but air. And the first out, a big out for Robertson as he gets the strikeout, leaving those runners at first and second.
Tim Klaus, the hitter, pops up his last time to Jake Mullinex out at second base. But that was an excellent sinker pitch by Robertson last time, that last pitch to Kimling to record that strikeout. But this Eastern Michigan team, runner going, hit and run is on. Only play will be at first base as the runners advance on the fielder's choice by Klaus.
Good decision by Eastern Michigan to send the runners. Ball hit probably too slow to turn 2. So they move the runners over to second and third, and now with a base hit from Rovat, who singled and scored and drove in a run in the third inning. If he does it again, he plates 2, and Eastern Michigan's right back in the game.
Brad Rovat, the catcher, steps in today hitting .217. Had a base hit his last time up, as Kevin just mentioned. Rovat has seen a little bit of action behind the plate here today. Runners at second and third. First pitch is outside to Rovat. One thing we need to keep in mind is that Roger Coryell has been around this program a long time. 35 years in the program at Eastern Michigan, 16 years as the head coach. Last year we was chosen as the MAC Coach of the Year as that ball was swung on and missed. Count evens up at 1-1. And Kevin, also we need to remember he was part of the College World Series teams that went to the College World Series in 75 and 76 as we saw that pitch again. And so he's able to instill the kind of things in his ball club he needs to instill. 1-1 on the way, and foul ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But this Eastern Michigan team, again, a long time ago, but they did qualify for the College World Series, and they were actually the College World Series runner-up. They lost to Arizona twice, 11-6, 7-1 back in 1976. But again, Coryell, part of those teams, as an assistant ball outside there. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Brad Rovat, the catcher. So there's a little bit of, there's some strength there as far as their coach goes. He knows what it takes to get to the big one. 5-2 our score. Great day to watch a baseball game. Come on out and join us. We'll be here all weekend also. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Eastern Michigan goes down here. Huskers lead at 5-2. We'll be back with more college baseball right after this.
And welcome back to Haymarket Park. 5-2 Huskers on top as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Joining me now is the president of the Husker Home Run Club, Darren Peterson. Played a little ball yourself back in the early 90s for the Huskers. Now the president of the Home Run Club, as we said. Before Dave Van Horn got here, you had 87 members in the Home Run Club. What are you up to now?
We're a little above 400. Winning changes some things, and it's great. I mean, people are showing their support, coming out to the park, and showing their support for Nebraska.
Talk about some of the things you do for the club.
A lot of the things we do are just to promote baseball. We have events, tailgaters, bus trips, things just, for people to enjoy the game.
And you obviously helped put together that very nice locker room for them.
Yes, the membership is basically how we raise our money, and we try to do things to make it a better place for the coaches and players here.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks to Darren as John Gross sails one into right field where Ryan Gillespie is out there to make the first out here. Darren Peterson, 4-year starter for Nebraska. Great infielder, sure glove, steady hitter. Great to see him be involved as the Huskers lead it here 5-2. And Gross again flying out to right field in the first at bat. Jake Mullinex will step in, the Huskers second baseman. Had a sacrifice today at an RBI. Came in today hitting .288. Has yet to hit a home run this year. 16 runs driven in. Jake Mullinex looks at pitch a little bit up for a ball. Jake out of Hesperia, California. Sultana High School as he swings and fouls this one back. Obviously a big play to our right. We did not see it, but It certainly got the crowd's attention. Jake steps back in there. 6'1", 200 pounds. Fouled another one off. Jake Mullinex played junior college ball at Victor Valley Community College out in California. First team junior college All-American. So doing a great job for the Huskers here. Plays a very solid second base for Nebraska. Ball through the left side. Base hit. Jake Mullinex.
Good job of hitting by Mullinex. 1-2 the count when he got that pitch. And Mullinex, don't expect to see a good hittable pitch in that situation. He stayed down on the ball. See it again here. The pitch from Carpenter, it hung a little bit. It spun up in the zone, not where Carpenter wanted that one on 1-2. And Mullinex was able to poke it into left field for his first hit of the day.
Good job by Jake. He started out tough hitting as far as the first part of the year. Hit just 167 early and then ran his average up to 288. So well done by Jake Mullinex. We go to the top of the order. Jeff Lisey steps in. Jeff on the day, 1 for 2 with a run scored. So takes the first pitch in there for a called strike. Jeff Lisey. He is sort of the epitome or the embodiment of Nebraska baseball in terms of all the great things about Nebraska baseball and college baseball. As we hits one tall. Is he going to have a play on or not? No, it's going to be out of play down the line, actually up in the deck down the right field side. Jeff Lisey played his high school baseball at Omaha Creighton Prep. Outstanding player in high school, came on to Nebraska, and he has just lit it up the last 3 years. He had a tough freshman year, as Kevin talked about earlier. Didn't play a lot during that freshman year, but since then, he has been just golden. 380 in his sophomore year, 371 his junior year, and now 337 here in his senior year as pitcher Carpenter sails up tall. Just a couple of weeks ago, Jeff Lisey added to his academic laurels by being named as the Nebraska Male Athlete of the Year based on academics. Just a great job there. We talked about his academic All-American prowess. And check throw over to first, back in plenty of time is Jake Mullinex.
Lisey, of course, was the guy backing up Jamal Strong. And when he left, when Jamal Strong left for the pros, there was a lot of concern around Nebraska. Who's going to be that guy that's the leadoff hitter? Who is going to be the guy that patrols center field? Because nobody expected anyone to be able to do it better than Jamal Strong. And Jeff Lisey very quickly made Nebraska baseball fans not forget certainly, but not forget their concerns at least about center field and about that leadoff spot. Because when Jamal Strong was here, it was well manned, and when Jeff Lisey took it over, didn't miss a beat. In fact, improved that position a little bit. So Nebraska's been very fortunate in center the last several seasons to have two guys like Strong and Lisey helping out Nebraska's resurgence as a program.
1-2 on the way. Runner is going as the ball's popped up. The catcher Rovat is giving chase and just not able to find the beat on the baseball, and the ball bounces off the top part of his mitt. Jeff Lisey a little more, let's say a little life renewed at the plate. Rovat, watch it here. This is a tough ball to go after, especially with the wind going the way it is.
Oh, and that's what happened. The wind started pushing this. It's blowing it in the direction, and Rovat trying to track it down, doing almost a complete circle around the box, and just cannot make the play as it pops out of the glove. That's not an easy play, and it's just a no play, not an error on Rovat, the catcher.
Extremely difficult play to make as the count is 1-2 on Jeff Lisey. And just a hello over at first base again. Trevor Carpenter, the pitcher, came on in the last inning in relief that is, of Dave Perron. One, two on the way, and there's a fly ball lifted. Third baseman is Derek Peterson. He has it, although the shortstop Brian Bixler is going to come over, and he will make the play on Jeff Lisey's pop-up.
Pretty easy play for either one of those guys, just a matter of who wanted it. Bixler called off Derek Peterson. He makes the catch, and 2 down here. Pretty impressive pitching out of the bullpen so far for young Trevor Carpenter, the freshman from Fort Wayne. He coaxed a double play out of Joe Gullion to end the threat in the third, and so far the fourth has been touched for the single by Mullinax, but he's got 2 out here in the inning and a chance to go through another inning unscathed.
Now heading into a difficult part of the Nebraska batting order, although the whole batting order for Nebraska is pretty difficult. But when you're talking about heading into Simikaitis, Hopper, Gordon, Ledbetter, Daniel Bruce, that's what he's looking at right now. And Simikaitis is the hitter out of St. Louis, Missouri. And there's a pitch in there for a call strike. Joe Simikaitis, 6'2", 190 pounds. He, along with Daniel Bruce, have kept the baseball targets alive this year. Simikaitis has been hit 18 times in his career, 11 times this year. As another throw over there to first base to check the runner, Jake Mullinax. In case you're wondering, Mullinax 7 of 8 in the stolen base category. And the wind continues to blow across the field here as the pitch is outside. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike down to Joe Simikaitis. 1 for 2 on the day. Big 12 tournament, Joe had trouble with the ball bat, just hit 187. He did have a couple of RBIs though, so the hits that he did get were timely and well done. As again a check throw at first.
Simikaitis trying to keep this inning alive for Matt Hopper here, and a chance to give Hopper a swing against the right-hander Trevor Carpenter.
Runner is going. Here's the throw by Robat down to second base, and he's out at second base. Good throw by Robat to retire Jake Mullinax and retire the Huskers here in the 4th inning. 5-2 is their score. Back in a moment.
And we're back at Haymarket Park. The Huskers on top of the Eagles. It's 5-2. We are through 4 innings, heading to the Eagles' top of the 5th. And, you know, Mike Anderson, with 2 wins yet this season, will become the all-time winningest first-year coach in Big 12 history. Tom Holliday, who may be on the hot seat down in Oklahoma State, had 46 wins in his first season. Mike just 2 away from eclipsing that mark. And when you take a look at the coaches in this regional that he's with, it's very impressive. You know, Coryell with 425 wins, Keith Gooten of SMS with 700, Gary Gilmore, Coastal Carolina with 500, and Mike Anderson with 44. But I have a feeling he's going to be around for a while and post a few more wins.
No doubt about that, Larry. Good to see Mike have the kind of success. He's really been a spark plug for this baseball team for a number of years, the hitting coach for a number of years, first under John Sanders and then under Dave Van Horn, and now taking over as head coach, and also working this year under some very difficult personal circumstances. His father passed away just a few weeks ago, and very, very tough. But Mike is really, he's a battler. He really is, no doubt about it. And I'm not surprised at all to see the kind of success he has had. So as we talked about earlier, Big 12 Coach of the Year this year. First time out of the blocks, first year head coach. He's Big 12 Coach of the Year. That says a lot about Mike Anderson. The hitter is Brian Bixler with the top of the Eastern Michigan order. Bixler on the day is 0 for 2. 326 on the year. Brian Bixler he hits this one down the line right field, and Bruce has it measured, and the out is recorded here in the top of the 5th inning.
Got to be cognizant in right field of that wind. It's pushing the ball towards foul ground when it goes to right. That one didn't have a lot of air underneath it. And Bixler with a very routine play to Daniel Bruce, who had a good jump, showed his good speed, got over there quickly, and had plenty of time to set up for the first out.
And that'll bring up Tony Milazzo. 298 on the year, 1 for 2 on the day. Youngster out of Sterling Heights, Michigan, at the Henry Ford High School. 5'10", 180 pounds. Twice he has been chosen for the MAC Conference Academic Honor Roll.
Palazzolo here, waving at a pitch outside of the zone, but a good off-speed pitch, good movement on that pitch from Quentin Robertson.
Strike call in there from Quentin Robertson. Quentin settled down here. Had a long 3rd inning, but he's settled down a little bit here. The first 2 innings, retired the side in order. And there's a ball tapped towards the Nebraska bench. Almost, some of our camera people, almost a good play down there, guys. Handle that camera. There you go. Need a glove, too, guys. We'll get you a glove next time around. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And let's call it 2-2 now to Tony Vito Palazzolo. He scored 131 runs for his ball club in his career. That's 5th all time at Eastern Michigan. Ground ball, Alex Gordon, big hop over to Matt Hopper, and that's it for Palazzolo.
Couldn't order up a better hop at third base than Alex Gordon got from Mr. Palazzolo. Big grin on Gordon's face as Palazzolo's chopper came up very nicely into the glove. Watch the hop to Alex Gordon. Just a boing right up there, belt high. Plenty of time after that to throw across, make a good solid throw, and it's out number 2.
Brings up Derek Peterson. Derek Peterson is a long, rangy young man, 6'3", 185 pounds, out of Toledo, Ohio. And he is the guy we talked about earlier on as far as career numbers. Leads the team all-time in home runs with 25 and RBIs 120 and make it 130 now. He had an RBI single last time up. 4th in RBIs, 4th in runs, and also 7th in career hits. So Derek Peterson has been a mainstay for Eastern Michigan. Big cut right there, way out in front of the let-up pitch by Quentin Robertson. Peterson today 1 for 2 and an RBI.
Peterson again, that's another good tailing away pitch by Quentin Robertson. He can't connect.
Trying to get Peterson to go for that breaking pitch to the outside, and he would have none of that as he runs the count now to 3-2. Peterson last year 327, 12 home runs, 50 driven in. All hit to the right side. Daniel Bruce giving chase. He's over there and makes the play down the line for out number 3 here as Eastern Michigan goes quickly here in the 5th inning. The Huskers lead at 5-2. We're back in a moment.
Welcome back to beautiful Haymarket Park, and you take a look at this field, always in tip-top shape, fantastic condition, and never changes here, and that's due to the great work of Dan Bergstrom and his crew, the athletic turf manager here at Haymarket Park. Dan, I figured it up. You have a 16-day stretch in which you have 20 games. This wears you down a little bit.
Yeah, May and June keeps us busy, but it's fun when we're winning, so we enjoy it.
Talk about what kind of hours you're talking about when you're dealing with the 20 games in 16 days.
Yeah, anytime we have a Husker game, we're talking about 15, 16 hours to start with, and then a special event like this NCAA makes it longer. So.
Dan was saying about 110 hours per week, and that's really not an exaggeration for these next few weeks.
No, that's how it is for May and June, yeah.
So, guys, it's in great shape because a lot of people put in some long hours to make it look like this, and I said to Dan, you started at 8 a.m. this morning. Not too bad. What time do you hope to get out of here? And he said, hopefully today, not tomorrow.
That's exactly right. Hopefully today.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
Larry, I want to know how he cuts that sunburst in the field. Next time around, we'll check that one out.
I can ask you that now if you like.
Oh, what a catch by that young man. Playing it to the crowd.
I'll tell you what, a lot of gloves in the crowd today, so well done. Larry, go ahead, Larry.
How you cut this sunburst into the field here?
That's a simple concept. The light stripes and the dark stripes. The grass is 2 different colors on one side, on the east side of the grass leaf blade, and we just lay one side towards you, away from you. And that's just a matter of how much time you want to spend with intricacies.
See, it's real easy, Adrian. Get out in your front yard and try it.
Well, Kevin told me that earlier on. As Joe Simbakaitis finally walks here, Kevin told me about laying the leaf down the other way earlier on.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Yeah. That's great. Give Dan our regards. Well done. Hey, great job.
We got to show Kevin what a mower is.
I'm just hoping Larry will take care of that at my house so I don't have to find out what a mower is.
Well, Joe Simbakaitis was the hitter after all of that. He battled up there at the plate. He finally got the walk. But again, the battle at the plate becomes a base runner here with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that'll bring up Big Matt Hopper. What a career he has had at Nebraska. And he has had an instrumental hand in the golden age of Nebraska baseball as Carpenter delivers the first pitch just a little outside and up for ball 1.
Matt hit his 6th postseason home run earlier today in that first inning. He's now above 300 in his career in the NCAA tournament.
1-0, and there might be another one down the left field line, and it is out of here. Another rocket off the bat of Matt Hopper.
Almost in exactly the same spot as his first home run, Abe. That's number 20 on the year for Hopper. RBI 61 and 62. And Matt Hopper has given the Huskers a 7-2 lead with another laser beam of a home run to left field.
Carpenter got the ball up and in just a little bit, and that's not where you want to put it to Big Matt as he bops this one down the line. You know, the Big 12 tournament, we said earlier, he was just 2 for 14 in the Big 12 tournament. And again, part of that silent bat routine that we talked about at the top of the show. But now Matt goes out twice here. And again, just 2 line shots right out into left field. It makes it 7-2 Nebraska. As the hitter now is Alex Gordon. Alex 0 for 2 on the day. Alex is due, as we say in baseball. What an athlete, what a young man he is. This one down the line to right field, and it is going to go foul. Hit very well down the line, and just fouled by about 2 steps past the line. Alex Gordon out of Lincoln Southeast. Comes from a family, all great athletes. Dad Mike played at Nebraska. His brother Eric played at UNO. And his grandfather Charlie Gordon coached at Lincoln Southeast. So great bloodlines in that Gordon family. And this young man, as we said earlier on, Kevin, is a freshman playing like a 5th-year veteran.
See what kind of swings he gets here. This is the first time he's had today to look at a right-handed pitcher instead of the left-hander Perron, who started and tied up Gordon on his first 2 with a strikeout and a flyout.
Let up pitch right here. Sinks a little bit, and Gordon just not able to catch up. That one is a line drive into center field. Alex Gordon picks up his first hit on the afternoon.
And the first time Alex Gordon gets a chance to face a right-handed pitcher, Alex Gordon delivers a solid single to left center field. Gordon was frustrated a little bit by Perron in the first 2 at-bats, but now against Carpenter gets a good look at the baseball, lines it into left, and has himself a single, his first hit of the day. And now a meeting at the mound as Rovat, the catcher, comes out. Also Derek Peterson, the third baseman, coming in to talk things over.
Talk it over, and also there is activity in the Eastern Michigan bullpen right now. Can't quite pick up a number there, Kevin. I'd leave that to you at this point.
Matt Onderlindy.
There we go.
The left-hander, Matt Onderlindy, starting to loosen up in that Eastern Michigan pen. And Roger Coryell now will make his way out to the mound.
Here comes Roger Coryell. We said earlier on, he said he's a second cousin, I believe, of Don Coryell. Although he said when Don was winning big time, he called him his brother. But at any rate, good sense of humor from Roger.
Well, let's look at the comparison between these 2 teams, Eastern Michigan and Nebraska, coming into this NCAA regional. The records, of course, a great disparity there. Batting average about the same. Power in favor of Nebraska. Stolen bases about even. Statistically, these teams relatively even on the year. Just 19 hits separate the teams on the season, but the Eagles at 32 and 26. And the real difference that you don't see on that comparison is on the pitching side, where Nebraska as a team, their team ERA at 3.67. Eastern Michigan's team ERA almost 2 full runs more at 5.61, and that's where the difference is.
It is, Kevin, and that will really separate most teams all the time. When you can keep that ERA down there in that 2 or 3 range versus a 5 or 6 range, that accounts for the major difference between ball clubs. The hitter now is Curtis Ledbetter, 2 for 2 on the day. Singled and scored a run in the 2nd inning, and a double back in the 3rd inning. 2 RBIs for the sophomore out of Lawrence, Kansas, Curtis Ledbetter. Major league pop-up in the infield. And the shortstop is there, Brian Bixler, to make the play.
That was way up there fighting the sun, and Bixler did a nice job in corralling that high pop on the infield, and that's a big first out for Carpenter and for Eastern Michigan, because Ledbetter had not been retired today.
He got a big bat out of the lineup right there as Daniel Bruce will step in now. Hit his last time up and singled, made his way down to third base. Huskers lead at 7-2, as you see. There's a check throw to first base, and Alex Gordon
not run with a great percentage this year over at first. Alex Gordon 7 of 16 on the base paths this year.
If there's anything in his excuse me, if there's anything in his numbers, Kevin, that is not good, it would be that. You'd like to have that stolen base number about 75% or better, and Alex not at that point, but everything else he does on the baseball field thus far has been extremely productive, and great to see that he'll be around here another year or two. Another throw over there. Alex back in plenty of time. That's Ryan Ford, the first baseman.
It's an absolutely beautiful day, and there's a great crowd on hand here today for this first game of the regional. A lot of folks calling in sick as Daniel Bruce gets hit for the second time today, and for now the 40th time in his career.
I've just got to ask, what is it about certain ball players? It's like a magnet. I mean, Daniel Bruce just takes another one in the same spot.
Well, and you look at Daniel Bruce, and he's so on top of the plate. That's one of the things that Daniel really enjoys. And you can see the smile on his face. He doesn't mind getting hit and doesn't mind taking one for the team. His elbow's been plunked a couple of times today, and it's been plunked a lot of times in his career, but he's right on top of the plate, and anytime a pitcher tries to get that inside corner, you look at the elbow, appears to be no worse for the wear.
I want to see it tomorrow. Let's see it tomorrow, because he wears a red-white uniform, and I believe that elbow tomorrow will be a little black and blue. Took two off the elbow thus far. Runners now at first and second for the Huskers, and Joe Gullion is up. Grounded into a double play his last time up. 0 for 2 on the day. Came in today hitting .245. He is the Husker DH here this afternoon as Carpenter delivers, and Gullion's taking call strike. Gullion, a junior, 6 foot, 200 pounds, out of Leawood, Kansas. Junior college transfer. Hit .429 in the Big 12 tournament. As there's a ball out of the zone and a check throw down to first base from the catcher. Rovat back in plenty of time. Is a runner down there, Daniel Bruce. Sometimes you get that runner, that second runner, a little bit of sleep down there at the switch. You can throw behind the runner and maybe have a play, but Daniel Bruce very alert. Head in the ball game. Back in plenty of time. Ball is, the count is 1-1. Runners are going. Flared into left field. That'll score a run. And in the process, Bruce is going to come around the third. They're going to try and score him. Here comes the throw to home plate. And Bruce is going to be out at home plate. The catcher, Rovat, again, the third time today. A big tough play at the plate.
I had to double clutch there, Abe. I was watching Mike Anderson as Daniel Bruce came to third, and I was so surprised to see him sending him to the plate. I was shocked that they were going to send Daniel Bruce home on that play because it was fielded relatively cleanly out there. Now it took a little bit of time, but a good throw in from Klaus, cut off there by Ford, and Ford just heaves it to the plate, and Bruce is out by a long way. Rovat had lots of time to set up. 8-2 Nebraska, but Mike Anderson gambling a little bit, and that one got burned for the second out.
Well, a lot of times, Kevin, the theory is, as we see the next hitter step in, John Gross, the catcher, as a coach out there in the base paths, you be aggressive, and Nebraska does play aggressive baseball when it comes to the base paths. You want to make that throw, make that other team make perfect throws, and that happened to be the case right there. They made good throws. They hit the cutoff man just right, and then a good relay into the catcher, and they had the runner out. They had Bruce out by maybe a foot and a half at home plate. They did a good job. Let's throw Brad Rovat into the equation also. He's had 3 plays now at the plate today, and he's hung in there pretty tough. And again, that's a tough play when you got a guy bearing down the line at you. Here comes the ball, collision. You hang on to it and record the out. So 2 outs here. Huskers do get a run off the bat, off the single from Joe Gullion. He gets an RBI, and he is down at first base. Gross the hitter.
It's a real pick-me-up for Joe Gullion, who had struggled mightily today at the plate. Had the strikeout on the bunt attempt, grounded into his first double play of the year. Came back, got a single and an RBI. Good to see Joe Gullion get a little positive feeling on his third at-bat of the day.
Yeah, he had only played in 24 games this year, 12 starts on the year, Joe Gullion, and again had a good tournament, had a good Big 12 tournament. And it's good to see that he was able to come up. He grounded into a double play last time up, but gets that RBI single and gives his team a 6-run lead here. John Gross walked his first time up, flew out to right field in the 4th inning. As there's a check throw again. Gross, the catcher, out about a month earlier on, hurt his elbow back in April, early April. Then he came back, went through a hitting slump there as the ball's a pitch out. Eastern Michigan expecting perhaps Gullion to break on the last pitch. He did not do it. He will on this one, however. Count is full, 2 outs. We're in the 6th. Great to have you here. If you have time, come on out. Make sure to come out to the ballpark tomorrow. Fly ball skied in the air. The shortstop is Bixler. He has an eye on it. However, Klaus is coming in, and the ball drifts. And Klaus finally makes the play, drifting into the gap and left center. Nebraska 8, Eastern Michigan 2. We'll be back in a moment. There you see again that marvelous view from behind home plate here. I'm Adrian Fielder with Kevin Kugler. There are the numbers. Nebraska 8 runs, 10 hits. They've committed no errors. Eastern Michigan 2 runs, 6 hits. They've committed 1 error. And again, in the background, you see the Memorial Stadium. There are the brackets there. Kevin?
Nebraska at Eastern Michigan, obviously in game 1 tonight. Southwest Missouri State and Coastal Carolina, the 2 and 3 seeds. Coastal Carolina at 45 and 16, the champions of the Big South. Southwest Missouri State, the regular season champs in the Valley. That's going to be a great game tonight. And if you're thinking about what to do on a Friday night, you happen to be in Eastern Nebraska, or you're coming in for tomorrow or Sunday's Nebraska games, make a point to stop by. Good seats still available for Coastal Carolina and Southwest Missouri State in the regional game number 2, scheduled to start at 7 o'clock tonight here at Hawks Field, Haymarket Park in Lincoln. And always a great way to spend an evening. Come out, watch some good college baseball in the regional. We will not be on the air with game number 2 of the regional between Coastal Carolina and SMS, but we will have all of Nebraska's games, whenever they may be, throughout the weekend right here on Nebraska ETV.
And if you're coming out tonight to watch Coastal Carolina, keep your eyes open very, very diligently, because they like to run, fans. They've attempted 193 stolen bases on the year and completed 152. So I don't know if I've ever seen numbers that big, Kevin, for any ball club. But again, Coastal Carolina loves to run. And so, again, keep your eyes open for that bunch. And again, college baseball, just great excitement. Everybody just giving it their all on every play. As the hitter is Ryan Gillespie, and he has run the count now to 1-1 as Quentin Robertson on the mound for the Huskers on into the 6th inning.
Got the sinker going. He has pitched 6+ innings in his last 10 starts, so it's no surprise to see Quentin working here in the 6th. He's been a guy that eats up innings for this Nebraska pitching staff. And, of course, tomorrow's starter, Aaron Marsden, another guy that eats up innings. The bullpen may not be needed much the first 2 games of this regional if all goes the way of Nebraska.
Shot down the left field line. That will be foul. And, Kevin, that is so important in the strategy as far as tournaments go. You get it to this point in the season, and you get starters out there that can take you into 6, 7, and 8 and reduce the stress on your bullpen and save all of that towards the very end, and you're strong going to the end. And that's so important in the way fortunes can go in tournament play. And there's a fly ball deep into the gap in right center. Long ball, and it's gone out of here. A home run off the ball bat of Ryan Gillespie, or Gillespie, that is. 14. It was 14. Now make it 15 home runs for Gillespie, and 53 runs driven in. He is indeed the home run hitter for this ball club, the career leader.
And that was just a blast off the bat of Gillespie. It came up just shy of hitting the scoreboard, and he took it to right field. Watch Gillespie again. Great swing, great extension, and he knew it the minute he hit it, and so did Daniel Bruce. He gave it a run, but that was about 1.5 feet shy of hitting the Huskers on the scoreboard. Gillespie absolutely scorched that ball, and it's an 8-3 ball game.
He's not a little guy. He's 6'3" and 225 pounds, and he got every bit of that. And there's a line shot of the ball bat of Ryan Ford this time. So 2 well-hit baseballs here to start the top of the 6th inning. And we'll see if that brings any activity. So far, everything is still calm on the Husker bench as Ryan Ford drills a single.
A little bit of luxury for Nebraska. They have that 5-run lead still, but I would imagine another ball or 2 that's hit hard, and there's going to be some activity going in the pen. It's a very hot day. Quentin Robertson, a very good workhorse, but we'll see how patient they can be as that pitch is sent into shallow right.
Mullinax giving chase, Bruce giving chase, collision out there. Nobody comes up with it. The ball drops in. So a little pop-up single for Ryan Arnett. So 3 base hits here, a home run and 2 singles to start the 6th inning. Not the way you exactly want to get a middle inning started here.
Well, and one thing for Eastern Michigan, we've talked about it before, this team has very little give up in them, and you tip your hat to this Eagle team. They've come into a difficult situation on the road before a big crowd on a hot day in Lincoln, and all they've done is just continue to fight, continue to scrap, and they look for respect. They're getting respect here today because this is a team that has looked at a very difficult situation, and they've met it head on. And another hit or two here, and Eastern Michigan's right back in this game.
You betcha, Kevin. You got to be very careful here as Quentin Robertson stares in at John Gross. The hitter is Todd Kimling. Struck out his last time up, and a big cut right there. Singled, stole a base, scored a run back in the third inning, did Kimling. 5'10", 185. We saw him steal that base. He came up with a little bit of a limp, but he was okay as he fouls that one off to our left.
Well, Quentin Robertson would love a strikeout, Abe, but he'd love to see also the second double play ground ball off the bat of Kimling this year. He hasn't done it very often. He's got decent speed from the left-hand box, but Quentin Robertson thinking double play ball right here. That ends the threat for the most part in this inning.
But right now, Kimling is thinking none of that. He wants to be an offensive force, an offensive threat as he swings and misses. Strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Quentin Robertson.
That's a good start for Robertson here as he tries to battle back from a tough start to the inning. That pitch tailing away from Kimling. Watch Kimling lays back a little bit on his swing and cannot come up with it. And a big first out for Quentin Robertson as Mike Anderson a little nervous time for the head coach.
Tim Klaus will step in, hit into a fielder's choice last time up. 287 on the year. He is grounded into 4 double plays this year. Tim Klaus, as the Husker infield is back, trying to see if that can happen, trying to make it happen. But Klaus again, as you said, Kevin, he gets on base. You know, a granted gives you a 1-run game. So again, Quentin Robertson, 6 innings. He's gone 6 or better 10 times this year, as Kevin told you earlier. Trying to do it again here. Pitch in there, call strike.
We've seen Tim Klaus in left field. He's shown off a pretty solid arm in left field today with a couple of very good throws to the plate.
Tim Klaus last year hit .375 with runners in scoring position. This year not as lusty an average, but swings and fouls one back to the screen. And Robertson in the driver's seat again, 0-2 on the count here with 1 out. But you said it earlier, Kevin, about this just a moment ago about the scrappiness of this, the feisty nature of this Eastern Michigan team, and I love it. I love to see this team come in here and play good, solid baseball, hard baseball, never give up. They have 9 hits on the day. Huskers just one more than that as Robertson delivers outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Klaus. But this is a team that came in and said, you know, we're playing for respect. We want to try to do the best we can, and if at all possible, get to that holy grail in Omaha. As there's a ground ball to Alex Gordon. Steps on third. Not going to fire. Gets the lead runner over there, but again, so he had no chance to get Klaus down at first base. Alertly holds on to the baseball and records the second out.
Alex Gordon, as Adrian mentioned, wisely just steps on the bag and does not advance any further. So 2 down, runners at first and second, and Brad Rovat, the catcher, up.
Rovat struck out his last time up there. 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Gates Mills, Ohio. Played at St. Edward High School. Brad Rovat had a great high school career. He's just a sophomore. He had a great high school career at St. Edward. Swings and misses it. The first pitch in from Quentin Robertson.
Robertson has shown a very good off-speed pitch in the last couple of innings. This time again, that's sinker, and it's just dropping out of the zone. Rovat struck out his last time up. He had no answer for the sinker then, and Robertson has it working once more.
Little number out to Mullinax at second base, and he fires a hopper, and that'll do it for Rovat, and that'll do it for Eastern Michigan here in the top of the 6th inning. They pick up a run on a home run from Ryan Gillespie. 8-3 is our count. Nebraska leads it. Back in a moment.
Well, would you and your business like to help bring programs like this NCAA Regional to NETV? You can become a corporate sponsor. Along with other Nebraska businesses, your contributions can support quality programming like you're seeing today. Help support NETV by calling 1-800-634-6788 and jump on board with us here at NETV Sports.
Absolutely. We can continue to bring you this kind of programming, sports programming, and all the other fine NETV programming, but got to have some help. So jump on board. Give us a call. Jake Mullinax is the hitter here to start the bottom half of the 6th inning. Huskers lead at 8-3. Mullinax 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI and a sac fly in the first, or check that in the 2nd inning. Jake Mullinax, we told you early on, junior college ball at Victor Valley Community College. 2 very good years there as he takes that pitch for a call strike. Junior college All-American his 2nd year, hit .447 that year. Conference MVP as he takes ball 3 up tall off Trevor Carpenter's arm. His freshman year hit .493, 13 home runs. So had some pop in the bat, 22 home runs in his 2 years in junior college ball as he takes that for a call strike. Full count now on the Husker second baseman, Jake Mullinax.
Trevor Carpenter starting now his 4th inning on the mound. He came in the 3rd, got the double play ball, and has been on ever since.
And Jake takes one right in the back. Becomes a base runner. 3rd hit batter on the afternoon. Daniel Bruce has a couple, and now Jake takes one. As they say in baseball, you get on base any way you can, and this is a painful way, but it's a way.
Now, certainly not what Carpenter wanted to do here to start off the 6th inning. No intent, no malicious intent there on the part of Trevor Carpenter. That one just got away from him, plunked him on the shoulder, and Jake Mullinax is all right. He stands at first. Nobody out. Now the top of the Nebraska lineup coming in, and a chance to, in this 6th inning with the top of the order, really start to put this one out of reach for Nebraska, who already leads at 8-3.
Brad Rovat, the catcher, out to talk to Carpenter. You saw that shot just a moment ago up in the top right-hand corner. You saw 2 people warming up in the bullpen for Eastern Michigan. Last time this happened, Rovat took the trip out. He came back to the plate. And then as soon as he got back behind the plate, Roger Coryell, the coach, came out. Let's see if that happens again. I don't believe it will. No, it will not, as we're about ready to get going.
Onderlindy and Chad Aid, the 2 left-handers, warming in the bullpen for Eastern Michigan.
The hitter is Jeff Lisey. He is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. And back in plenty of time over there is Jake Mullinax.
Jake 7 of 8 on the base paths this year. Pretty decent speed and a real solid, smart base runner.
Well, did the ball hit him or not?
Hit his bat as he tried to get out of the way. A little defensive posture.
It hit him and part of his bat too. He was trying to, I think, plead his case. Watch it again here.
It just came up on him.
Got him on the hand. He was sliding that bat up the hand, and or at least we think
right on that left hand. But when you have your hand on the bat, it becomes part of the bat, so it does not count as a hit batsman. Even if it hits your hand while you're trying to bunt, that is just a foul ball and a strike for Jeff Lisey. So even though he was hit on the hand, his case will not be listened to at all by Tim Clockerty, the home plate umpire, because that hand becomes part of the bat and is thus just a foul tip.
And even when you slide it up the bat, as he was attempting to do there, to put that bunt down, the same is true. So the count is 0-1 on Lisey. Carpenter is the pitcher. And there's a little let-up pitch out of the outside corner for a called 2nd strike to Jeff Lisey. Husker captain.
Pitch broke down into the zone. Got the top of that strike zone, and quickly 0-2 on Lisey.
Lisey, one of the top leadoff hitters in the nation last year, this year. Mr. Consistent, can rely upon him to get on base about 80% of the time. Looking at 0-2 here to Jeff Lisey, and it's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Lisey. Drafted by Anaheim last year in the 7th round. Be interesting to see, Kevin, where it comes this year. His numbers are a little bit down, but he's still very, very effective and very forceful as far as Husker offense goes. Ground ball should be 2 out there, over to second for 1, and over to Ford at first, and it is indeed a double play off the bat of Jeff Lisey.
Doesn't happen very often. In fact, that's just the 3rd time in 249 at bats that Jeff Lisey has grounded into a double play, but he turns it here, and a very good start on the double play. Good solid flip from Palazzolo, and that's how that whole double play got started. A 4.63 on the very fast Jeff Lisey coming out of that left-hand batter's box. You'd think he has an advantage on a slow hit ball, but very crisply done by Palazzolo and Eastern Michigan in the field.
It really was well turned, and also Jake Mullinex out there in the line of fire, had the hand up in the line of sight. Good job by Bixler to come across the bag and still make the play and get the double play. 52nd double play for Eastern Michigan on the year as we see the pitch again here.
Outside and tailing away and down for Simakaitis. Could not connect on it, and Carpenter one more strike from getting out of another inning out of the pen.
No balls, 2 strikes. Joe Simakaitis, 2 outs. And swings and misses, strike 3, Joe Simakaitis. That ends it for the Huskers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Huskers lead it 8-3. More college baseball right after this.
And we're back at Haymarket Park, and from the time you enter the park to the time you leave, everything just seems to run smoothly, and that's because of my next guest, Bush Hug. And you got a busy weekend this week, not only here, but you have a track regional going on across the street.
Yeah, we got a national track meet going on, about 900 athletes over there. They're just getting ready to start their running events, so we've been busy all day, and both places, back and forth, seeing how things are going.
You've been bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I've been back and forth, seeing how things are there, making sure things, we got good people. So that's the key thing. We've given everybody a good game plan, and now they just implement it, and there's no problems.
You've been up top, kind of surveyed the scene here. What do you think?
Great crowd, probably a little bit less than what I thought, but still, Friday afternoon, noon. This is a good gathering for today.
A lot of people playing hooky from work, it looks like.
Yeah, but they probably thank us for that, too.
Absolutely. Butch, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Butch. As we go to the top of the 7th inning to take you on home, here's Kevin.
Brian Bixler leading it off against Quentin Robertson, and the pitch is low for a ball. 1-1 the count. It's Bixler, Palazzolo, and Peterson. If the Eagles are to do anything, this is the start of the lineup that will have to get them there, the top of the order, and the 4th time through against Quentin Robertson. Robertson, though, has almost gotten more effective with his sinker in the late innings here. It's 1-2 now on Bixler.
There it is right there, and Bixler, no chance at all. The ball starts out. It looks like it's going to be maybe knee high, maybe a little bit above knee high, and then all of a sudden it's a couple feet from the plate. Down it goes. Hitter has no chance.
2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff man, Brian Bixler. Palazzolo, Peterson scheduled to follow here in the 7th inning. Quentin Robertson's gone all the way for Nebraska, although some activity now starting in the Nebraska pen. Very light throwing beginning. And Robertson just missing inside, ball 3, and Quentin really wanted that call from Tim Clockerty behind the plate and could not coax it out of the home plate umpire.
There it is again, just off the corner of the inside, and Quentin thought he had it. You got to be a little bit careful here in terms of showing the umpire, and there is the activity in the Husker bullpen. Jeremy Becker, lefty, warming up or taking some short toss right now.
3-2 pitch outside and a leadoff walk to Brian Bixler to start off the 7th inning for Eastern Michigan. So Palazzolo will get his 4th look now at Quentin Robertson with a runner at first base and Bixler. Good speed at first. Bixler 16 stolen bases on the year.
Kevin, that's the first walk. I had to double check the book here. I think it's the first walk given up by Quentin Robertson. We can verify that. But again, the first walk, and as I said at the top of the show, it's 6 of his last night, the 9 wins he's had, 6 games he has not walked a batter. He's got a good, comfortable margin here right now. But again, the thing he has done is he's kept the runners off base.
First pitch to Palazzolo shows bunt, and the pitch down to first. They'll appeal. No swing, says John Thomas at first. Looked like Palazzolo offered on the bunt.
Oh, no doubt about it.
According to the umpires, though, there is some doubt, and it's a ball, 1-0.
Well, let's take a look here as Rob Childress.
This is a trip for Rob Childress in order to talk with the home plate umpire for the most part. He had a few words on his way out about that. But you do it on a trip to the mound, you don't look like you're showing up the umpire.
Yeah, that's the problem as far as that last pitch, that next to last pitch to the hitter, Brian Bixler. But your bat's got to get up to the front edge. And let's see what happens here. Well, you can't tell from there, but it looked like he did go after it and then pulled it back. But did his bat get up to the front edge of the plate? Don't know from that shot.
According to the umpire, no, and it's 1-0. So,
and we'll go with that because he's the man.
He's got the counter in his hand. He can click it.
Right. Anybody that's got an indicator, he's the man. So there he is right there. Tim Clougherty.
Rob Childress making his way back to the dugout after his meeting with Quentin Robertson, trying to light a fire under his right-hander. 1 ball, no strikes on Palazzolo. Throw over to first and Bixler back in.
Kevin is a catcher back there. And John Gross, again, he made it known that he thought that the hitter went after the bunt, but you've still got to maintain that relationship back there behind the plate, because the last thing you want is an umpire behind you that doesn't like you. That's tough. I mean, respect you, yeah, but wow, you just want to keep that relationship going back there behind the plate. And if you've got a play you're going to challenge, you better make sure that you're absolutely right on it.
1-1 on Palazzolo. Runner at first is Bixler. 8-3 Nebraska leading here, top of the 7th. And Palazzolo sends that one to center field. Relatively deep, but Lisey's back there to make the catch for the first out. See the wind really rippling the uniforms of all the players. Lisey's sleeves blowing in a very strong wind, which is now coming across the field. It pushed this a little bit, Abe, but Lisey made a nice play.
Breaking pitch that really didn't break. That I think was supposed to sink. That didn't happen. It stayed right up, and Palazzolo went after it. There's the flag as we talked about, and it's very stiff in the wind right now. All of them are. The Nebraska flag obviously on the left and the great state flag on the right. But again, well hit baseball, but the wind knocked it down. Lisey, Mr. Reliable out there in center field.
1-0 on Derek Peterson. Bixler walked to lead off the inning. He's at first now with 1 out. And the 1-0 in there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
You know what's interesting about Derek Peterson is in high school, he was a tremendous baseball player, as we see it again here. And excellent pitch right there. But he was also a wrestler. Wrestled his first 2 years in high school. And that combination, guys, doesn't work so well with baseball as he takes that pitch down low. 2-1 now. Because usually in wrestling you get pretty well bound up in the shoulders and the arms and that kind of thing. In baseball you want to be fairly loose and languid to get that stroke down. But he was able to combine the two. And then of course he didn't wrestle after his sophomore year, but had a good record, 24-5 his first 2 years of wrestling, actually a city champ. So concentrate on baseball now and doing very well at that.
2 balls and a strike on Peterson. Runner at first, Bixler. The pitch in there, and it's upstairs for a ball. 3-1 now on Derek Peterson. And now the bullpen activity beginning in earnest for Nebraska. It was just some short tosses to get loose a moment ago. Becker now starting to throw with a little bit of purpose in mind as the bullpen starts to get going for Nebraska. Bluff a go at first, and the pitch is high for ball 4. 2 walks in the inning. And that's given Eastern Michigan some life. And here comes Ryan Goleski, who last time up in the 6th absolutely pounded one to right center field near the scoreboard. And there's ball 4 again. That's close.
Yeah, it's close. You know, as a hitter, you probably go after that, or you're protecting the plate. But again, I guess a fairly good eye up there by Derek Peterson. He understood that ball was a little bit up, going to take his chance. Got the call, and he is now a runner, now a base runner.
1 down, and Goleski stands in. Big moment here for that young man, Quentin Robertson. Goleski with his 15th homer earlier. Pitch breaks inside for a strike, 0-1. Ryan Goleski, the all-time home run king in the history of Eastern Michigan baseball, with 2 runners on in an 8-3 ball game. A home run here. And the Eagles are right back in it in game 1 of this regional. And he sends that one deep towards right. The wind pushing. If it is fair, it's gone, and it's gone. A 3-run homer for Ryan Goleski, his 2nd of the day, and it's an 8-6 ball game.
Pure strength off the hands and the bat of Ryan Goleski. He's just a junior, 6'3", 225. And he powers another one. Hits it the right side again. And that ball almost carried out past, indeed I think it did carry out past that concrete wall in the bullpen out there, and that'll bring Mike Anderson to the mound. And I doubt that he's going to take much more time here. Yeah, he just singles right away.
A blast for Goleski, his 2nd of the day, and it's an 8-6 ball game, and the walks really come back to haunt Quentin Robertson, who was very good through 6, lost his control here in the 7th, and now will leave before he has a chance to lose this any further. He will head out. Good solid 6 innings, 6 1/3 for Quentin Robertson today, allowing 6 runs on 10 hits. He's done, and Jeremy Becker, the new Husker pitcher.
Becker coming in, the youngster out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, 5'11", 215. He's a walk-on. Came onto the ball club with an academic scholarship. As you see, Quentin Robertson taking his spot in the dugout. There's Becker right there. Sophomore, left-hander. There are the numbers on one of the over the 5.14 earned run average. Strikeout 10 to walk 6. Very smart pitcher. Rob Childress said throws strikes for the most part. Comes down from a lot of different angles. He gives a hitter a lot of different angles to watch the delivery and hopefully confuse the hitter. So let's see if that happens here yet this afternoon. But again, story right now, Ryan Gillespie, his 2nd home run of the day. So we talked about his home run hitting ability all through the course of the afternoon, and he comes through.
Well, let's take a look at the polls. Top 10 throughout the nation. Nebraska number 9 in the collegiate baseball poll, with Rice the number 1 team in collegiate baseball's poll. Sports Weekly has Florida State as the number 1 team. Nebraska number 9 in the Sports Weekly poll. There you see Texas A&M just behind Nebraska in the Sports Weekly poll. And in Baseball America, Nebraska number 10 in the Baseball America poll, with Texas number 6. But despite the fact that the polls have 2 and sometimes 3 Big 12 teams ranked among the top 10, none of the Big 12 teams are number 1 national, or one of the top 8 national seeds in the NCAA baseball tournament. So they'll have to do it on the road, likely, if the Big 12 is to be represented in the College World Series.
Quentin Robertson, to give you the numbers very quickly, 6 1/3 innings, gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, struck out 5, and threw 110 pitches on the afternoon.
First pitch from Becker is a strike to Ryan Ford. 1 down here in the 7th. Base is empty as Becker comes in to face Ryan Ford, the left-handed hitting first baseman for Eastern Michigan. 1-1 the count. So now it's a battle of the bullpens in a 2-run game. And Ryan Gillespie has really turned the demeanor of this game around. Pitch in there for a strike to Ford, 1-2. A 3-run homer.
Well, Kevin, when you look at the book on Ryan Gillespie and all the numbers that he has put up, it's no surprise that he is able to do what he's done here today. And again, coming all the way from Eastern Michigan to get it done. A team that, has been down by a number of runs here in this ball game and just refuses to go away. And now it's a 2-run ball game.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ryan Ford. Becker's pitch. Chopped on the ground to Mullinax at second. Easy play for the second out. 2 down now in the 7th, with Nebraska leading 8-6, and Ryan Arnett, the batter, coming up against Becker.
Ball way outside. You want to hit that ball to left field. We talked about that earlier. Hit that ball to left field. Don't try to pull it, but Ford tried to get around on it, and he did, and he got it right to Mullinax for an easy out. 2 outs now, Eastern Michigan.
And Arnett, another left-handed batter, looks at a pitch down low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Mike Silman starting to loosen now in the Nebraska pen. What a story he was in the Big 12 tournament. And really in the last couple of weeks of the season. That pitch scorched deep toward right field. And Arnett has hit his 12th homer of the year. It's a 1-run ball game. Pounds it out to right.
My goodness, home run number 12 for Arnett, the Eastern Michigan center fielder, and he just makes this, he tightens the ball game about as tight as you can get it. That pitch, here it is right here, a breaking pitch, and it went down, and that's where that left-handed hitter likes it, a little bit low and away, and he got full extension and just powered it on out. So again, the Huskers flirting with a little trouble here, Kevin. Maybe not a little trouble, a lot of trouble, as Becker serves one up.
And a pinch hitter here for, as you look at Mike Silman in the bullpen, Todd Kimling's day is done. Luke Beeler will be the hitter as Beeler is announced. Kimling is done on the day. He struck out his last 2 times up. And so Luke Beeler, a .291 hitter, will get his first swing of the day.
Gross and Becker having a discussion out there, maybe buying some time. Gross getting a sign from the bench to go out there, buy some time, talk to the pitcher, and give Silman a little bit more time to warm up down in the pen. Andy Sawyer's there checking the book on the hitter. Andy Sawyers is one of the assistant coaches. Came up from Hutchinson Junior College, coached here at Nebraska a few years ago, or played here at Nebraska, I should say, a few years ago, and now comes back as an assistant coach. His first year. Doing an excellent job, we might add, as Anderson now, head coach Mike Anderson will come on out.
Gave a little more time for Mike Silman to get loose in the pen, and they may bring Silman in right here with 2 down in the 7th.
I think he will. I don't know that Mike wants this game to get in any more jeopardy than it is. He's thinking about it, and Mike, the sign has been made, and Mike's on his way in.
So Mike Silman, who pitched so well at the Big 12 tournament, gave Nebraska a chance to win their long extra inning game against Baylor. Pitched excellent baseball, ended up as the losing pitcher in that game, but went 5+ innings, his longest outing of his career. And Silman's the guy that Mike Anderson is going to look to now to close this out as we look at the numbers on Mike Silman, the junior out of Omaha, the Millard South grad.
Has a unique delivery. He was an overhand pitcher. He came here a year ago. He's a junior. A year ago they changed his style. There are the numbers 1-1 on the year with a 1.21 earned run average. And Mike Silman going to try to stop it right here against Eastern Michigan.
Tonight at 7:30 Central Time, Statewide explores the Cornhusker Army Ammunition Plant near Grand Island. The ammunition plant employed thousands of Nebraskans beginning in 1942, operating through 3 major wars. Don't miss NETV's award-winning weekly news journal celebrating 10 years on the air. Statewide, tonight at 7:30 Central Time, only on NETV.
Silman, the junior out of Millard South, 6'1", 180 pounds. Fastball will go somewhere around the upper 80s. Very efficient breaking pitch, but he'll power it by you. He's got that submarine delivery, and it gives a hitter a lot of different looks. You see a lot of guys, especially the right-hander, backing out because submarine delivery does that to you. Larry Putney's on the down in the stands. Larry,
it's kind of an interesting story about how Silman became the submarine pitcher. Rob Childers went to him after last season and said, "Mike, you're not missing enough bats. We need to change something." So they decided to go to the submarine style, and Rob told him he's athletic enough. He's a great athlete. He had no doubt that he'd be able to do it. It would just take a while for him to get in enough situations to feel comfortable throwing it all the time. That really happened late this season when he became comfortable, and we've just seen his success skyrocket since then.
As Kevin chronicled his success in the Big 12 tournament, really did a great job there. As we see a pinch hitter now, Jesse Coxwell is going to come in.
He will hit for Luke Beeler, who was going to hit for Todd Kimling. So Beeler's day, a very short one. He stepped out, got announced. Nebraska changed pitchers, and now Cogswell will take a swing against Mike Silman. 2 down in the 7th, 8-7. Nebraska's lead is down to 1, and Silman misses low with a ball 1-0.
Cogswell steps in hitting .226 on the year with 2 home runs, and they're checking no home runs and 8 runs driven in.
Chopped on the ground to Simakaitis at short. Long throw across in time, and that retires the Eagles in the 7th. 4 runs across, and we've got a ball game. 8-7 Nebraska heading to the bottom of the 7th. The 2003 NCAA Baseball Regional on NETV Sports is made possible in part by the financial contributors to Nebraskans for Public Television. You too can help support your statewide network and become a member of NPTV by calling toll-free 800-634-6788. You can also join NPTV over the internet. Log on to our network website at mynptv.org, click membership, and follow the prompts. If you're enjoying our coverage of Nebraska baseball's road to Omaha, join NPTV today. Be the meat of the Nebraska order here in the 7th against Trevor Carpenter, who stays in the game. He came in the 3rd, and boy, you got to tip your cap to Trevor Carpenter, Abe. He hit a rough spot in the 5th inning, but he has pitched well enough to keep the Eagles in this game and allow the Eagle offense to come back and get within 1.
He has, Kevin. Again, tip your hat to him, and also tip your hat to their offense as far as hitting the long ball. They have done it. I didn't expect them to really hit the long ball off of Quentin Robertson, but they have done that. They've got some excellent power in their lineup, and they have made it a ball game, as we said at the top of the show.
Matt Hopper will lead it off. He's got 2 homers on the day, as does Goleski for Eastern Michigan. And Carpenter being very careful through the first 2 pitches with Matt Hopper. 2 for 2, 3 runs scored, 3 RBI on the day for Hopper. And Nebraska would love an insurance run or 2 here. 3-0 to Hopper. Gordon and Ledbetter scheduled to hit following Matt Hopper in this inning. The 3-0 to Hopper. Outside ball 4 and an unintentional 4-pitch walk to Matt Hopper. No pitch anywhere near the strike zone to Hopper.
And what a baseball team likes to do when you see that sort of thing happen. Obviously, you put the leadoff runner on, pitch around him. Obviously, that team wants to come back and make it hurt a little bit. So Huskers will try to see if they can do it in the form of Alex Gordon now, who will step in. He had a single his last time up, but Huskers, again, we've got ourselves a very good baseball game going on right here now.
Hopper at first, nobody out. Pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Alex Gordon. Curtis Ledbetter waiting on deck. 8-7 Nebraska. Huskers have led by as much as 8-3 in this ball game, but a big comeback from the Eagles. 5 runs over the last 2 innings. And Eastern Michigan right in this ball game is the number 4 seed. 2 balls, no strikes. Carpenter yet to throw a strike in this 7th inning. And the 2-0 in there for a strike on the outside corner. 2-1.
Alex not happy about that call.
Scoreboard operator had already posted a ball when the call came.
Ball drifts out there. Looks like it might have been just a little bit off the plate there. Alex, maybe a legitimate contest as far as the call goes. But now there's been activity in that bullpen for Eastern Michigan as the catcher Brad Robat is out there to talk with Carpenter. And Roger Coriel's perched on the stadium or on the dugout steps just below us here. And there you see
Onder Lindy and Brian Shadd both working in the pen. 2 balls and a strike on Alex Gordon. Hopper at first. And Gordon looks at a pitch low, ball 3.
I'd say you better strap him down right here with the 3-1 count, and that's going to bring out Roger Coriel, the head coach of Eastern Michigan. And he will take his time as he moves out across the line there, because Alex Gordon is going to be ready to rip one right here. And Coriel knows that. So does the catcher and so does the pitcher.
Will he make the change mid-count? 3-1. You don't see that too often, but Coriel has not liked the way his young pitcher has pitched in this inning, although he's got to be pleased with the job he's done out of the bullpen today. Trevor Carpenter has been a workhorse today for this team on a short bullpen. We told you their main guy out of the pen is not with them this weekend when Emco is back home on a family matter, and Coriel looking out at that pen, looking, and will he make the change? I don't know. I believe he will. Yes, there will be a move to the bullpen. He was very subtle about it, but there will be a move to the pen, and it looks like it'll be Onder Lindy coming in.
Well, Kevin, as you mentioned, he came in. Carpenter came in the 3rd, and now he's taking it all the way into the 7th. He's actually, let's call him a provisional starter of sorts. He started 9 games for this Eastern Michigan bunch. 14 appearances, 9 starts, and now he's going to give way here. So he's not unfamiliar with going 4, 5, 6, 7 innings as he now steps away, as Onder Lindy will come in. So Coriel not taking a chance here. He's got that 3-1 count. He knows that Alex Gordon can rip the baseball, and so he's making the change.
Well, we've certainly experienced a lot of great moments through this last several years on Nebraska ETV Sports, and one of those moments came earlier this year, a big showdown series between Nebraska and Texas.
Number 16, and Onder Lindy. It is gone. A 3-run homer, and Nebraska leads.
Number 15 for Matt Hopper on the year, and 3 RBI in the process Takes him to 41 as he puts a charge into this baseball, into the gap, and left center field. Matt Hopper. And Kevin, that ties him with Casey Bookout for the Big 12.
Well, that's one of the many great moments we've enjoyed, and we've certainly enjoyed being here over the last few years. And now we want to know what you think of the telecasts over the past few years. Any feedback you want to give us, pro or con, we'll take it either way, and we'd sure love to have it. Maybe you've got a great story about your friends and family getting together to watch some Nebraska baseball, but your comments will certainly help us decide our future program schedules. Just take a moment, if you would, and jot down the address and the email address there. Send us your thoughts. We'd sure appreciate it. NETV Sports, P.O. Box 83111, Lincoln, Nebraska 68501. Or if you are computer savvy like Adrian Fial, you can email us at netvsports@unl.edu. We just want to know your thoughts on our telecasts over the past few years of Nebraska baseball. We've sure enjoyed being here, and we'd like to get your thoughts on those as well. Adrian will download your emails later on. And
first, I have to figure out how to turn that thing off. Not quite that bad, but almost that bad. But no, actually, I want to support everything Kevin just had to say. We need to know. We need your input. We need contributions. Every little bit helps.
And on a 3-1 pitch, Alex Gordon sends that one into left field. Battling the wind is Klaus, and he makes the catch. That's a nice play again by the left fielder, Tim Klaus. That wind's not an easy thing to contend with out there.
Plus, he's dealing with the sun also, Kevin, on this play. As we see Lindy right there, we'll see his numbers here in a second. There they are right now, 3-3 on the year with a 5.7 earned run average. Strikeout to walk ratio, not all that outstanding. 42 innings pitched. But Mad Lindy is coming on. He has 1 save on the year.
His job right now is to hold Nebraska at 8-7, where it stands right now. And the first pitch to Ledbetter, big rip and a miss for a strike. Curtis on the day is 2 for 3. Flied out his last time up in the 5th inning. And a 2 RBI double back in the 3rd, which seems like a long time ago. Nebraska led it 8-3 after 5. It's now 8-7 here in the 7th. 1-1 on Curtis Ledbetter with Matt Hopper at first. Huskers trying to hang on here in the opener of the NCAA Regional. The loser of this game plays tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. The winner plays tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. But if you lose this game, you've got the potential of 2 games tomorrow and 2 games Sunday to win the championship.
Not to mention the emotional or psychological factors you have to deal with also, Kevin, if they happen to bounce one here early.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch to Ledbetter. Late fouls it off, and it's still 1-2. Curtis Ledbetter, who was redshirted last year. He's really one of the great stories of this Nebraska baseball season. A kid that last year sat out, didn't get a chance to play after coming in from Garden City Community College. Couldn't make the cut last year and has become a great surprise of Nebraska's season this year as he chops that one hot shot off the glove of Bixler and into center field. Got to imagine that's going to be a hit, a very difficult play for Bixler to make, and it is a base hit for Curtis Ledbetter.
If I'm scoring, it's a base hit, and indeed it is. This ball is hit about as hard as you can hit it. Ledbetter, 220 pounds, very, very strong, 6'3", and just about rips the glove off of Bixler out there at shortstop. But he is indeed credited with a base hit. And it's good to see that happen for Kurt Ledbetter, especially after he had to sit out the Big 12 tournament with that injury. But Kevin, he was recruited as a catcher, and I think maybe that had a little bit to do with the fact that he didn't play last year, trying to get him ready to be a catcher. But now that all changed, using that big bat, playing him in the outfield and playing him at DH.
Daniel Bruce looks at a pitch down low from Lindy for a ball. 1-0 on Bruce, who's been hit twice and singled. Way back in the 2nd, Daniel Bruce with a chance here to give Nebraska a little bit of breathing room in the 7th. They lead at 8-7. 1 down, and the 1-0 way outside for a ball. 2-0. Bruce, then Gullion in the Nebraska's 7th here. 4 runs in the top of the inning. We'll see if Nebraska has an answer here with 1 down. Runners at first and second. And the 2-0 from Lindy. That one smoked down the left field line and deep. That ball is a home run. 3-run for Daniel Bruce, and Nebraska leads it 11-7.
That ball hugging the line all the way down, but no doubt on the call. Ken Gracker, the third base umpire, following the baseball all the way down. And he immediately singled home run number 4 for Daniel Bruce, and he picks up 3 RBIs, and he just watches this one go. And in the background, you can hear Bruce, Bruce. Those aren't boos. Those are Bruce, Bruce, Bruce calls.
There was no question that it had the distance to go. The only question was, would it stay foul? Daniel Bruce, the picture of concentration as he scorches that one. And the only question remaining, would it get around that pole? And it did. 11-7 Nebraska. And Onderlindy did not do what he was expected to do. Roger Coryell is out to talk with his left-hander and perhaps lift his left-hander here.
Well, Daniel Bruce just threw his body out there. He got every piece of his strength into the baseball, and it just was a question of, is it fair or is it foul? It stayed fair, and he picks up the big dinger, 3-run dinger, and we're going to have another pitcher here, Kevin.
So the move to the bullpen did not pay off for Eastern Michigan, as Onderlindy checks out and Brian Chad will check in. And let's look at the swing one more time as Daniel Bruce gets a drink of water after his trot around the bases.
That was a home run smile, guys, all the way around. You can recognize that smile 100 miles away as you see this right here, and he's enjoying every moment of it as the ball sails out of this ballpark. There he is right there. He has a great look, a great intense look at the ball at the plate when he's hitting. And Onderlindy is off and Brian Chad is in.
So from one left-hander to another, Onderlindy's stay was a short one. Brian Chad checks in, and you look at the numbers on the new left-handed pitcher.
1-2 on the year with a 5.31 earned run average. Good ratio there in terms of the strikeout to base on ball. He's given up 49 hits in 42 innings. And for Chad, very quickly, opposing teams hitting .292 against him on the year. Brian Chad. See if he can stem it here in the bottom of the 7th inning, give his team an opportunity as they have a couple of at bats left here. Scrappy Eastern Michigan team.
Well, would you and your business like to help bring programs like these to NETV? You can become a corporate sponsor. Along with other Nebraska businesses, your contributions can support quality programming like you're seeing today. Help support NETV by calling 1-800-634-6788. Tonight, it'll be Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, against the Bears of Southwest Missouri State. A lot of general admission tickets available still for that game, and for all the games, they're all on sale right now at Hawks Field. So if you're thinking about coming for the weekend, and there's a look at the entire weekend, how it sets up for the weekend. If you're thinking about coming, there are still some places to sit. Bring a towel and bring the family and hang out on the berms. If you've got little kids, trust me on this one, I speak from experience, it's a great place to be. The kids can run around, you can sit on the towel and just sort of breathe easy for a while. So stop by, and a lot of baseball to be played this weekend. There's a look at some families taking my advice.
And also, if you come in the afternoon, also bring a little sunscreen, maybe a hat or two, a little precaution. And yeah, plenty of beverages here at the ballpark to partake in. And you're ready to go. You're ready to handle it all and watch a lot of great college baseball.
The 0-1 to Joe Gullion. That one's roped down the left field line. Fair ball. Gullion around first. He'll take the big turn, and he'll hold up there with a long single.
Good to see Joe Gullion continue to have good success at the plate. He had it at the Big 12 tournament and now continues to have it here in the first round of the regionals, as we saw that breaking pitch from Brian Chad come right into the lower half of the plate, and Gullion just takes it down the line.
6,057 on hand here today, the 10th largest crowd ever at Hawks Field on a Friday noon. Not too bad. And Gross down the line, but it goes foul. So 6,057 on hand, and look for even bigger crowds Saturday and Sunday as this regional then heads to the weekend.
Great testament to what's happening here in Lincoln, Nebraska with college baseball and the way the fans have really taken to Nebraska baseball. That's one right back through the box, right over the head of Brian Chad. He's 6'5" and 205, and Gross just hits a rope right past him.
John Gross with his first hit of the day and his second hit in a long time. And this is a good solid single and a good swing right up the middle for John Gross. And now Nebraska with runners at first and second and one out for Jake Mullinax. So Gross is on, Gullion on at second, and Nebraska really with an opportunity to widen that lead here again. We talked about it, Abe, the pitching of Eastern Michigan, really the big difference between these two teams. Numbers-wise, offensively, they're very similar, but pitching-wise, they're not similar, and the bullpen has been a real weakness for Eastern Michigan this year.
Pitching, as I said earlier on, Kevin, again, you get into tournament time, when you've got the horses on the mound, you've got an advantage. And, of course, Nebraska has had good pitching all year. That ERA down in the 3.5 range all year. Again, testament to what Rob Childress has done as pitching coach, not only this year, but all the years he has been at Nebraska. I've said this several times in the shows we've done. He took a pitching staff that had an ERA up around close to 7 and turned that around and put it down in the 3 range. And that accounts for the majority of the success that the Huskers have had.
2 balls, no strikes for Jake Mullinax. Runners at first and second. Still only 1 out here in the Husker 7th inning. Top of the 7th was long. The bottom of the 7th almost as long now for Nebraska as they've battled right back and answered again. 11-7 Nebraska leading. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 on Jake Mullinax. Top of the order, Jeff Lisey waiting on deck. 1 down in the Husker 7th. Mullinax set. Chad ready. And the freshman from Macedonia, Ohio. The runners go. The pitch chopped on the ground through the hole at second base. That's a base hit. 1 run will come around to score. And it's now 12-7 Nebraska.
Picture perfect on the hit and run right here. Jake Mullinax trying to hit behind the runners. He does hit behind the runners. They were breaking on the pitch. The second baseman, Tony Palazzolo, broke towards the bag. Kind of vacated area. It seemed going the wrong direction there. They had to come back and then chase it. The ball gets through. A run comes in. And Jake Mullinax does a great job. You want to try to hit behind those people. You got it done.
Second RBI of the day for Jake Mullinax. He's now got 18 on the year. And Jeff Lisey, the top of the order, up for Nebraska. 12-7. The Huskers have matched the 4 spot that the Eagles put up in the top of the 7th inning and have reestablished that 5-run lead. Mullinax at first, Gross at third. And the pitch to Lisey. Low for ball 1-0. Jeff Lisey, he's had great success in regional play. 323 hitter all time in his career in the postseason. He hit .538 2 years ago in the regional, was the MVP. And the 1-0. Good stop made by Rovat, who's shown some pretty good defensive skills behind the plate today.
He really has, Kevin. He's been able to knock a few balls down just like he did right there. And also, he's been able to hang in there tough on plays at the plate. We've seen 3 or 4 plays at the plate that he has been a part of. And again, sometimes it's difficult back there.
The 2-0. Right over for a strike. Lisey taking all the way. 2-1 on Jeff Lisey.
Difficult back there in a lot of ways, but he has been able to handle that and really be a good factor for his ball club here this afternoon.
12-7 Nebraska. And the throw to first, and it gets away from the first baseman. Here comes Gross, headed for the plate. He's going to score. Heads up base running by John Gross, moving towards the plate with the throw, and when it snuck away from Ryan Ford at first, Gross was able to score Nebraska's 13th run.
First baseman over there is Ryan Ford. He was attempting to take the throw from Brian Chad. Error on the play. And assuming it's going to be an error on the throw, but
I would think it would be a pitcher's error.
Yeah. Really no indication up there yet, but we'll just go with an error on the pitcher for now. An error on the play, and Gross comes home, and Adds to the lead here, 13-7 now for the Huskers.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Jeff Lisey. 1 down, 5 runs in the 7th inning. What was a tight ball game has been broken open again by Nebraska's bats. High scoring day here at Hawks Field. 20 runs on 26 hits between the 2 teams. There goes Mullinax headed for second. The throw down is in, not in time. He got in under the tag. Jake Mullinax, a good throw from Robat, but just a bit high, and Mullinax with his 8th stolen base of the year.
Jake picks his spots right here, and again, ball a little bit down and low for the catcher. He's got you saw that swing there, and that'll bring you up a little bit, and the throw goes high. Maybe if the ball's down just a little bit, but tough pitch placement on the delivery makes it even tougher for the catcher to make that good throw down there. But again, fairly close play in spite of all that.
3-2 on Jeff Lisey with 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Huskers leading at 13-7. Nebraska, if they win, will play at 3:30 against the winner of tonight's game between Coastal Carolina and Southwest Missouri State. A lot of seats available for the game tonight between Coastal Carolina and Southwest Missouri State. All the general admission tickets available. Stop by and pick them up if you want to watch some college baseball tonight in Lincoln. Lisey scorches that one down the line, but well foul. Count will hold at 3-2 on Jeff Lisey.
Lisey trying to pick up Mullinax out there at second base. He has run this count full. Mullinax looking over at Mike Anderson to see if maybe something will be put on. I don't think it will at this point.
Lisey chops it on the ground. Peterson coming in from third, bobbles it, and he's not going to have a play. He had to make it cleanly with Lisey jetting down the line, and once he bobbled it, Lisey was safe.
Second error in the inning here for the Eagles from Eastern Michigan. And Peterson knew he would not have to play on Jeff Lisey. Lisey out of the box. He's got good speed anyway, but he's coming out of the batter's box on the right-hand side there. He's a left-handed hitter on that right box, and he's got about a 2 or 3 step jump. So Peterson just tried to fake the throw and catch Mullinax asleep at second base, but Jake had none of that. He was going back to the bag, as a matter of fact. Ball hit to the left side when you're on second base. Standard rule is it's got to be through for you to go, obviously, but it's hit to the left side. You just get a good lead, stay there, or go back to the bag.
Joe Simakaitis with the bunt down the third base side. Beautiful job. Peterson's throw in time as he tags the bag right before Simakaitis gets there. The throw a little bit offline, but Ford able to find the bag for the second out.
And now the question is, Kevin, how do you score it? There's some that would say it's a sacrifice, some that would say no, he was just trying to get a base hit, and he's out on the play. So take your pick.
I'll give him a sacrifice.
Okay, I will too.
I'm feeling friendly today. Joe Simakaitis walking kind of gingerly back toward the dugout. Hopefully Joe Simakaitis didn't tweak a hamstring on his way down the line. You see Joe going into the dugout. He sits down, and they will do the smart thing and walk. Matt Hopper in the pitch, almost thrown away on the intentional walk. People always ask, well, why on the intentional walk do they make them throw the 4 pitches? Why couldn't they just hold up 4 and send him to first base? What you saw there is why they make him throw it, because if he throws it away, that ball's in play and a run can score.
Did you see the Big 12 tournament, the Texas game? Same thing happened. They were intentionally walking the hitter. They had a runner on third base. They had an empty base to fill them up to get the force play, Kevin, and the pitcher threw one by the catcher, and the run scored anyway. So it has its moments. They're rare, but they're still there.
It'll be the 3rd walk of the day issued to Matt Hopper. He walked to start this inning off. That was not an intentional walk, although he didn't see a pitch anywhere close to the zone, and that'll leave it up to Alex Gordon. Lefty versus lefty, and Roger Coryell playing the percentages here in the 7th inning. He is the 11th man to bat in the inning, is Alex Gordon. Huskers 13, Eagles 7. And the first pitch, Gordon looks at a strike, 0-1. Bases are loaded, 2 down, bottom of the 7th inning, 13-7 Nebraska. And Alex Gordon can put this one out of reach if he's able to put one in a gap here. The 0-1. Way outside. Rovat with a stop, 1-1.
Kevin, with runners in scoring position this year, Alex Gordon hitting .444. Tops on the team, and also with 2 outs hitting .343 with 24 runs driven in. So this is an opportune situation for Alex Gordon.
2 balls and a strike to Gordon. 2 down. Nebraska's 7th. Bases loaded. Mullinax at 3rd. Lizzie at 2nd. And now Hopper at 1st. 2 balls, 1 strike on Gordon. Nowhere to put him if you're Brian Chad. Pitch just nicks the corner, 2-2.
Good curveball. Good pitch by Chad that time. A rolling curveball that just nicks the outside here. Runs it up. Runners start up now. And if Gordon can make contact, clean base hit, he might be able to clean the bases.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And the pitch, chopper on the ground. Over to pick it up, Palazzolo. He flips to the shortstop, Bixler, for the 3rd out. Nebraska puts 5 across, and after 7, 13-7 Nebraska.
And we're back at Haymarket Park. The Huskers now on top 13-7 after scoring 5 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And guys, we've talked about before, the mark of a great team is when a team challenges you and scores runs, like the Eagles scored 4 in the top of the 7th, you answer back. And every time the Eagles have scored more than a run in an inning, the 3rd they scored 2, the Huskers came back with 3. In the 7th, the Eagles put 4 up on the board. Nebraska answers in the bottom of the 7th with 5. It's 13-7.
Nebraska has had the ability to answer today to this Eastern Michigan team, and it's been the Nebraska bats against the Eastern Michigan pitching that has been a real story in this day. Eastern Michigan has battled, but Nebraska has just had an edge on that Eastern Michigan pitching throughout the day today.
Well, Kevin, we talked about it earlier on in the day. Again, that pitching side. The Eastern Michigan Eagles giving up about 2 full runs, almost 2 full runs as far as earned run average goes in the competition today. And there's a ground ball out to Joe Simakaitis.
Easy play for the shortstop. The throw in time, and 1 pitch, 1 out. Tim Klaus grounding out for the 1st out here in the 8th inning against Mike Silman.
But we talked at the top of the show, very beginning, about how Dave Perron, as we see it again here, see that ball just sink. It's a sidewinding pitch. It sinks. It goes every which way, and it's all a hitter can do to catch up to it. Tim Klaus did hit a ground ball out to Joe, and Simakaitis puts it away. But again, that pitching, as we talked about with Perron all the way through their staff this afternoon, it was how well that pitching was going to measure up in terms of stopping the bats of the Huskers. And again, the Huskers 15 hits, but again, Eastern Michigan in their own right has come through. Again, led by Ryan Gillespie with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs on the day. They've been a competitive factor also.
Brent Olivier, the pinch hitter aide. He is the junior catcher from Hazlitt, Michigan, who hits .315, 3 homers, 29 RBIs for Olivier. So the day is done for Brad Rovat, trying to give their catcher a couple of innings of relief. And Olivier, a nice hop right to Simakaitis, and quickly 2 out here in the 8th inning. Simakaitis got a beautiful hop off the lip of the grass on the infield and was able to turn this into an easy play.
4th assist on the day for Joe Simakaitis. Ball fairly well hit by Olivier, and Joe makes it look easy. And for the most part for Joe, it is easy.
After a very rough spell the first couple of months of the season, his glove has settled down, and he's become that dependable defensive shortstop Nebraska had last year. Silman nails the outside corner with a strike to Brian Bixler. 0-1.
He makes it look easy because he works so hard at it during the week. These fellows really practice it very, very diligently, very hard, go after it.
Bixler, hard shot into right center field. That'll be a base hit. So a 2-out single for Bixler, his first hit of the day. And that keeps the inning alive for Palazzolo.
Well hit ball right under the arms, the outstretched arms there of Jake Mullinax, the second baseman. For a moment there, I thought maybe Jake was going to come up with a baseball, but again, ball it very, very well, and Jake on the dive as Lizzie tosses the ball back in. 2 gone here.
Palazzolo 1 for 4 today, fouls it away for the first strike. Singled back in the 3rd inning, grounded out twice. Last time up he flied out. Palazzolo, if he keeps it alive for Derek Peterson, then Goleski waiting after that. 13-7 though, Nebraska with a 6-run lead. Bixler at first, 2 down in the 8th. And Silman's pitch in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count very quickly on Palazzolo.
You get that kind of action on the underarm delivery. That was a breaking pitch. It just breaks there just a little bit right at the end, but normally you're going to see that ball rise and fall, rise and sink off that underhand delivery, but that pitch broke a little bit there at the end, and Palazzolo just not ready for it. 0-2 is the count.
Palazzolo set, Silman delivers. Chopped on the ground, wide of short. Simakaitis has it, long throw, and there's no play. Hopper gave up the bag to keep that throw in play, and an infield hit for Palazzolo. And a 2-out threat here for Eastern Michigan, who just will not go away.
It just keep scrapping. You know, you have to admire this team and give them their respect. They were looking for that, as we talked about earlier, and they have mine, no doubt about that. As Simakaitis, we thought maybe he might have a little bit of a problem there with the leg, but he got after that ball pretty quickly. I think he's all right. Then stopped, made the plant and the throw, but again, Matt Hopper, as Kevin said, coming off the bag. That's obviously the diligent play to make over there. Come off the bag, keep the ball in order.
1-0 on Derek Peterson. You do not want to bring Goleski up with the bases loaded or a run across here, and so Silman with his work cut out for him, and Peterson ropes that one down the right field line, and it curves foul. Good contact, and it just was pushed foul. 1-1.
Daniel Bruce giving chase over there. He covers a lot of ground out there in right field, and we've seen him make some outstanding plays this year. Outstanding throws, outstanding defensive plays. Outfield very solid for Nebraska.
1 ball, 1 strike. Derek Peterson. Pitch inside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on Peterson, with Ryan Goleski, who has 2 homers on the day, waiting on deck. The way this game has gone, don't go anywhere yet. It's 13-7. That could change in a hurry. 2 balls, 1 strike. Silman set, and the pitch misses for ball 3. 3-1, and Goleski starting to salivate over there in the on-deck circle.
He's just his hands are ringing. He wants to get up and hit. He's feeling good about the situation right now.
Derek Peterson likes his opportunity here, the leading hitter on this team at 383, and the pitch misses wide for ball 4. So the bases are loaded, and here comes that man again, Ryan Goleski. 2 homers on the day, 4 RBI, and if he gets his 3rd of the day, Eastern Michigan's right back in it again.
There'll be a party going on out in Ypsilanti tonight if he can crank one out of here now, as Mike Silman has his work cut out for him against Ryan Goleski. As you saw O'Neill, Pat O'Neill going down, and he's going to take some time out here to readjust to a little Nomar Garcia Parra action there.
Certainly a critical moment in the game for both of these teams. The big threat here for Eastern Michigan in the 8th. Bases loaded, 2 down. All of this happening with 2 out and nobody on. And now Goleski looks at a pitch inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Ryan Goleski, 16 homers on the year, now 56 RBI.
And Mike Anderson thinking the whole situation over right there, Kevin.
The 1-0 coming. Goleski chopper into the hole, into left field. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. They'll wave home the 2nd run. Here comes the throw to the plate, not in time. And it's 13-9. Goleski with 2 more RBI, give him 58 on the year. And Eastern Michigan back within 4.
You got a ball player on your hands over there in number 20, Ryan Goleski. Ball just got up a little bit in the zone. Someone likes to keep the ball down and sink it. That time did neither. up and straight away, and Gillespie just took it to put it into left field, picked up 2 runs. And again, Kevin, this team is just, well, they got a hold of their jaws are locked right now. They won't let go.
Ryan Gillespie in his last 3 at-bats has 6 RBI. Not a bad 3 at-bats for Ryan Gillespie. 2 homers, 6 RBI, 3 for 3.
3 times this year he has had 5+ RBIs, and make it number 4 as that pitch sails way outside. He had 8 RBIs against Northern Illinois back middle part of May. 8 RBIs, 2 home runs in that ball game. Same thing here today. I'm working on that, but Ryan Gillespie, as I said, you've got a ball player on your hands right there.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down here still in the 8th inning. 2 in for Eastern Michigan, and Ryan Ford hitting .331 reaches out for that one and fouls it away. And Silman now 1 strike away from getting out of a difficult 8th inning. Mike Silman, who'd only allowed 3 earned runs all year, has allowed 2 to come across here in the 8th inning. 13-9, Nebraska leading. 2 on, 2 out. And Ryan Ford waits. The 1-2. Wave and a miss, strike 3. And Nebraska gets out of the inning. 2 runs across for Eastern Michigan, top of the 8th. And as we head to the bottom, 13-9, Nebraska.
The Huskers hanging on at Haymarket Park, 13-9, Nebraska on top of Eastern Michigan. And speaking of the Eagles, I am with Ron Ostrike and his wife Shirley. Ron, the former head coach for 24 years at Eastern Michigan. In fact, you took them to the College World Series in '75 and '76. You have some best memory from that College World Series appearance?
Oh, yeah. The tournament experiences are probably special. Yeah. And that's the same with these kids. The tournaments, they'll always remember.
Talk about the fight in these guys. I mean, they're not going away, Ron.
They'll swing a bat with anybody and have all year. Their lineup up and down the order is pretty solid. Plus, they play good defense. We got a little bit of, we need a little help on the pitching sometimes, but we just, we can play with anybody defensively and swinging the bat.
So how are you spending your time now? Watching a lot of baseball?
Yeah, that's basically it. I stayed in teaching up until a couple years ago, so I was busy up until 2 years ago. Now I'm just basically retired.
Ron, thanks very much. Thank you. That's Ron Ostrike, guys. Took him to the College World Series, 75 and 76, finished 5th. Arizona won it that year, I think, right, Ron?
Second against Arizona in '76. Yeah.
Second against Arizona. Wow, what a performance. Thanks, Ron.
You know, Larry and Kevin, yesterday, Roger Coriel said he asked for advice from Ron Ostrike before he came to the regionals. He said, what's your advice? He said, don't play Nebraska. Sage advice. However, as he said, they compete. No question about it. They do compete.
Well, they've certainly proven they can hit with anybody. They have 9 runs. They've actually got just 1 hit less than Nebraska today. 14 hits on the day for Eastern Michigan, but they are down on the board 13-9 as we begin this bottom of the 8th inning with Curtis Ledbetter, Daniel Bruce, and Joe Gullion, the hitters scheduled for the Big Red. And a good off-speed pitch from Brian Chad for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Curtis Ledbetter. Curtis has had a great day. 3 for 4. A couple of runs scored on the day. A couple of RBI. He's been very, very solid today. And the 1-2.
I guess you could say about Ledbetter is he does not like to sit on the bench and watch this game be played. He wants to be out there getting it done, and getting it done is he today after sitting out the Big 12 tournament with a shoulder injury.
Well, as we heard from Mike Anderson earlier, he's 90%, and he goes 3 for 4, make it 4 for 5 on the day. If he's 100%, well, you'd hate to see what he could do. Curtis Ledbetter back into the lineup for the first time in a week. He goes 4 for 5 to pace the Huskers here as a leadoff single starts Nebraska's 8th inning off.
And hit very, very well. Here comes the pitch from Chad, a breaking ball down into the hitter, and he just turns on it and just hits a rocket right past Peterson at third base. There's Kurt Ledbetter.
Now Daniel Bruce, the batter. His 3-run homer in the 7th, really the biggest blow of the day, and the wind is really starting to howl. Any ball hit in the air is going to be a major adventure as it's blowing from left to right. got to be 25 miles an hour right now.
Well, the way those flags are out there in the left center field, I would say so, Kevin, maybe even more. But you see a little bit of a twinge there as far as the picture, but not much.
Our guys out in center field are fighting it on that shot. That wind's really pushing them too. Look at this flag.
There it is. At least it's a warm wind, not a cold wind. There have been a few days out here with cold wind that haven't been too pleasant.
1 ball, 1 strike. Throw over to first, and Curtis Ledbetter back in safely.
That 4th hit by Ledbetter ties a career high for Curtis. Good to see him having that kind of success. Everybody in Lawrence, Kansas, very happy. Maybe.
The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike on Daniel Bruce. Joe Gullion and John Gross waiting. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1 the count on Daniel Bruce. 13-9 on the scoreboard. Nebraska leading in this bottom of the 8th inning. And the 2-1 to Bruce. Little excuse me swing right back to the mound. Throw to second for 1, and they cannot make the play at first. If he gets the ball out of his hand, Bixler had a little problem double clutching, and he had a shot at getting the double play, but they do get the force out at second for the first out of the inning.
Bruce attempting to swing, holds up on it, but gets a piece of the baseball. And there you see Bixler now. He just gets the ball caught in the web up in the upper part of the glove. Not a chance at all. And Bruce gets down that line pretty quick, so you got to make that move and get it over there. And then Bixler just saw that he could not do that, so just hangs onto it. Keeps the double play in order, however.
Joe Gullion 2 for 4 today. Looks at a pitch inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Gullion came in hitting .245. That average will be up. He's got that 2 for 4 day going. There's a look at Daniel Bruce at first. A short lead with a left-hander on the mound. And Gullion skies that one to foul ground, and it'll be out of play. No chance for the first baseman Ryan Ford to get over there. If you put it in the air, you've got a chance to get on base here in the final inning, because that wind is really starting to take hold on this field, and any ball up in the air is going to be an adventure today. We'll see how that wind is in effect for that evening game tonight. Coastal Carolina and Southwest Missouri State. Stop on out to the ballpark and pick yourself up some tickets and watch some NCAA tournament baseball tonight, as Coastal Carolina and Southwest Missouri State will match up. If Nebraska hangs on and wins this game, we're back with you tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 for Nebraska and either Coastal Carolina or SMS. We'll find out who Nebraska plays probably around 10:30 tonight. There goes the runner. The 1-1 is outside for a ball. Throw down to second. Plenty of time for Daniel Bruce to sneak in with his stolen base, his 8th of the year.
Again, that good speed by Daniel Bruce, streaking down the base paths, first to second. Ball thrown up tall. No chance at all for a tag here. Good pitch to throw on, I should say. But again, the ball sails up high, and Bruce is there in plenty of time. Brian Chad working on a 2-1 count there, and just off the plate, 3-1 now to Gullion. Gullion played junior college ball at Johnson County Community College. Hit 38 home runs there, and he broke the record of a young man that we used to call games for Kansas City, for the Kansas City Royals, Omaha Royals. Kid Pello broke his record, Kevin.
Kid, a good professional baseball player. Never seemed to get a chance in the Kansas City organization. All he would do every year in Omaha would be hit 20 or 30 home runs a year, and never got the look up at Kansas City.
And always hit for fairly good average all the time, and a good run producer, but never really got the shot.
3 balls and a strike to Gullion. Curveball in there, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gullion taking all the way. John Gross waiting on deck. And Nebraska with a 4-run lead here, 1 down, bottom of the 8th inning. The game over 3 hours old now, an offensive showcase today. And a look back to second, Bruce back in. They leave plenty of time between games, but they'll be getting busy very quickly with Coastal Carolina and SMS getting batting practice going, and those teams will be out here in just a little bit.
Takes about close to 2 hours as far as pregame goes to get everything done. BP, infield, there goes Bruce.
Headed for third. That one roped into left field. A base hit and run to perfection again as Gullion drives in the run, and Nebraska leads it 14-9. Nebraska playing very aggressive baseball here in the 8th inning, and that gets them another run, and they lead by 5.
And for Gullion, his 3rd hit on the afternoon, his 2nd RBI of the day. So Joe is 3 for 5 on today with 2 RBIs. And again, you love to see it happen to a young man who really hasn't played that much this year, but he's just bided his time, waited, Kevin, and he's really capitalized on the playing time he has been accorded here in the later part of the year. And it's good to have that happen because you got another hot bat in your lineup. Again, to produce what you need to produce.
Roger Coryell making his walk to the mound once again. A long, slow walk today for Roger Coryell. He's had to make it several times, and he'll, if he follows mode, stand out there till the umpire comes out to get him, and then he'll make his move. Dale Hayes, the right-hander, working in that bullpen. And they will go to the pen now. So Hayes checking into the lineup now for Eastern Michigan. He becomes the 5th Eastern Michigan pitcher of the day. And that's not what you want to do in the first game of an NCAA regional. You don't want to have to go into that bullpen, especially when it's not terribly deep. You have to batten down the hatches here, Abe. Look at that wind working. That tree doesn't look like it's going to make it.
Somebody get us the duct tape. Put everything, tape down the shutters and everything else. Wow. That's out there on the berms in the outfield as Dale Hayes is going to try to make his way in against that big wind. Hayes just pitched in a tournament here just a few days ago, the MAC tournament. And, well, we got things blowing all around here in the booth now. The wind is starting to affect us up here. But Dale Hayes will come in. He is a senior, 6'4", 200 pounds, out of Westland, Michigan. And you guys strap it down out there. Tough out there, those center field cameras. That's exactly where the wind is cutting right across into those cameras. That's a great shot.
Well, Thursday night at 7 Central on NETV. Tune into Backyard Farmer to get all your lawn and garden questions answered. UNL's cooperative extension experts can help you deal with anything you're growing or don't want growing. Whether it's crabgrass in the front yard or tomatoes in the backyard, watch Backyard Farmer to find out how to get rid of it, keep it, or grow it. It's Thursday night at 7 Central time on NETV.
Hayes coming in there. Again, as we take a look, Dale Hayes, 6'4", 200 pounds. I mentioned that a moment ago. Again, he pitched against Miami on the 25th, went 8 innings. He was the starter in that ball game. Outstanding performance in that ball game. Again, 8 innings, scattered 8 hits, struck out 7. They ended up winning that ball game 6-5. When he left the game with just 3 outs left in the last inning, he had a 6-1 lead. Miami snuck up, had a grand slam home run, and snuck up to 6-5, but Eastern Michigan prevailed and won the tournament, and Hayes got the win. 6-2 on the year. And again, see how effective he can be here. Let's go down to Larry Putney in the stands. Larry?
Guys, a great crowd here this afternoon, a little more than 6,000, and it's going to get even better this weekend. And we just want to remind everybody that there's still plenty of time to grab general admission tickets. Plenty of room out in the berms, a lot of area in the outfield, down the right and left field lines, a lot of seating. So please get out here and support the Huskers, because that's what the home field is all about, is getting people out here, getting behind Nebraska as they try to make another super regional.
Now, the crowd has thinned down a little bit, Larry, as folks have headed for the gates. This game is now 3 hours and 20 minutes old. Most people are perhaps headed on for other things in the afternoon, but you're right. There's a lot of room out there in the outfield and the berms. Really, that's the place to be for these games all weekend long. Just a great place to watch a game.
And bring your glove, too.
Yeah, we found that out today, right?
We've seen a few people pick up a souvenir or two out there in the outfield, collecting all the home run balls off Matt Hopper, Ryan Gillespie, and some of those folks. But again, what a great way to spend an afternoon watching college baseball. Probably some of the most exciting sporting events you're going to attend. Again, collegiate baseball doesn't get any better.
John Gross, the batter, facing right-hander Dale Hayes. Runner bluffs a go with a pitch in there for a strike to John Gross. Gross singled and scored in the 7th. He is 1 for 3 today. Runner at first base is Joe Gullion. Gross waiting. And the 0-1 from Hayes. Wave and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on John Gross. Waiting on deck, Jake Mullinax.
Sinker pitch right there from Hayes, and well done, well pitched right on the inside corner. A little report here on Missouri baseball as that pitch hits the catcher side of the mask, bounces, hits the catcher side of the mask, and just glances off to the side. Wild pitch, I presume, here.
Oh, yeah, that one was in the dirt and it hit the mask of Olivier. Couldn't find it after it bounced away.
Here we go again as the ball bounces, and see it hits right off that right side, and now you're in no man's land as the catcher back there. It's tough to find that baseball once it bounds away as it has. But just to report, very quick report as far as Missouri goes after this pitch, Kevin.
The 1-2 to Gross, chopped it foul, and the count will hold in 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Missouri is the number 3 seed playing North Carolina in the regional at Mississippi State. In the top of the 7th inning, they're tied at 2. So we're all Big 12 supporters. Let's hope they can be successful. Missouri Tigers.
14-9, Nebraska leading here with Gross. He'll call time. Hayes taking his time with 1 down in the 8th inning. 14-9, Nebraska. Out at second base, Joe Gullion. And the 1-2 to Gross. Gross sends that one high in the air to left field. Going back is Klaus. Still going back, and it's gone. 2-run homer for John Gross, and Nebraska leads it 16-9.
He has been a spark plug for this baseball team this year and part of last year. Captain John Gross, mired in a slump, he came back and now rips a 2-run home run to put his team up by 7 runs here in the 8th inning. John Gross, his 4th home run of the year and his 20th and 21st RBI.
Klaus wasn't sure how the wind would affect that home run ball. He waited and waited, hoping it would blow it back in, but it did not. John Gross with 2 RBIs. The home run as Mullinax, or rather Gullion, scores on the home run, and now Mullinax looks at the pitch outside for a ball.
Kevin, that ball would have been tough to catch even if it would have stayed in the park. As we saw Klaus out there circling around and trying to get a beat on the baseball. There's John Gross, Husker catcher. And we saw that home run smile out of Daniel Bruce. We'll probably see it. No, we won't. Big cut right there by Mullinax. But again, as Klaus circled around out there, with the way the wind is blowing and that high sun today, there's no, I don't think there's a cloud in the sky that I've seen all day. Again, it makes it tough to field the baseball. And for John Gross, last time he hit a home run was April 4th. So it's been a long while coming, but he got it. And let's see how that sparks it. There's another base hit, well hit.
Jake Mullinax gets his 3rd hit of the day. So everybody in the hit parade for Nebraska as Mullinax reaches. Still 1 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. And over the last 2 innings, Abe, between these 2 teams, we've seen 14 runs scored between these 2 teams. Nebraska leading at 16-9. At one point, it was 8-7 Nebraska. And then the floodgates have really opened for both of these teams.
Well, if you like offense, this has been the place to be here this afternoon. We have seen that. 23 hits in the ball game thus far at 25 runs. So again, offense is the name of the game here today. And Mullinax, just very quickly looked at the book here, Kevin. Mullinax 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, had a sac fly, and also was hit by a pitch. Good day for Jake.
Pitch to Jeff Lisey upstairs for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes on Nebraska's center fielder, who reached on an error in the 7th, hit into a double play. Flied out, singled and scored in the 3rd, and grounded out. His 6th at-bat of the day right here. Lisey chops that one through the hole on the right side. That's a base hit. Mullinax had to wait to get that ball by, so he'll stop at second base. And another hit for Nebraska, the 20th hit of the afternoon for NU.
Hit parade just continues right along as Lisey finds the hole over there on the right side. Ryan Ford, the first baseman, not a chance at all. As there you see Jeff Lisey.
Joe Simakaitis. Nebraska with 1 down, 2 on, and a 16-9 lead. Simakaitis waits, and the pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count on Joe Simakaitis. Matt Hopper waiting on deck.
Yeah, we talked about Simakaitis earlier. A lot of different things he has accomplished in his athletic career as he's about ready to hit her on an 0-1 count.
The 0-1. 1-1 the count, or rather 0-2 the count on Joe Simakaitis.
But Joe in high school played football, played basketball, played baseball. Football, he was a quarterback, two-time all-conference player, conference player of the year, two-time all-state player. A lot of great ability in that body down there, Joe Simakaitis.
16-9 Nebraska. And Hayes will step off the rubber. 3 runs home already in the inning for Nebraska. They lead it by 7 in this first game of the NCAA Regional. And a throw back to second, and Mullinax is in there safely. Jake Mullinax out at second. Jeff Lisey at first. 16 runs, 20 hits for Nebraska today. The Eagles with 9 runs, 14 hits, 3 errors for Eastern Michigan. Simakaitis. Hayes ready in the pitch. Strike 3 called. He's out for the second out of the 8th inning.
Little slow roller up there, slow rolling curveball. Just catches the outside corner. Joe may be looking for something else. If I can nick the corner, pretty good call.
And in a 16-9 game that's coming up on 3.5 hours, and you're standing behind the plate, those close ones may get called at this point. You never know. Matt Hopper, perfect on the day. He's walked 3 times, and Hopper sends that one deep toward left, looking for his 3rd homer of the day, but it'll fall short into the glove of Tim Klaus. We've played 8 full in Lincoln. Nebraska leading 16-9.
3 more in the 8th, 8 in the last 2 innings for the Huskers as Nebraska now on top of the Eagles 16-9. And you were talking about the wind, guys, and it's amazing the temperature difference between being down in the seats where the wind is not blowing and can't hit you and the sun is shining to where you go back in the concourse where everybody's been standing watching the game all afternoon. They're 2 and 3 and 4 deep back on the concourse. It feels 15 to 20 degrees difference between the two.
You know, the way this ballpark was designed, the concourse is open. You can see the field. It's also open to the backside, so you get that breeze coming through there. So it's just a nice little, kind of like an air tunnel out there, guys, that can cool you off, and people enjoy standing back there and cooling off, and then back to their seat a little bit later.
Larry, head back out into the sun. We don't want you relaxing down there in the cool weather.
I appreciate that, Cal.
16-9, Nebraska leading as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Believe it or not, Mike Silman is still on the mound and in a save situation here. He came in an 8-7 game, remember, and if he closes it out, Mike Silman will pick up his 3rd save of the year despite the score on the board now.
With Quentin Robertson being the winner, it seems like Quentin pitched a long time ago, Kevin, but he is still in line to win the ball game.
16-9, Nebraska out in front. Ryan Arnett, Jesse Cogswell, Tim Klaus due up for the Eagles here in the 9th. The 1-1 pitch chopped to Hopper right through the wickets and into right field. That could and probably should be an error on Matt Hopper, and it is an error on Hopper to start off this 9th inning.
I would agree, and that's a play that Matt Hopper usually makes. We always talk about his ability in terms of hitting the baseball, and that's proficient, as we all know, but he also is extremely proficient out there in terms of fielding the baseball. I think he had a .989 fielding average coming into this ball game, which is extremely good.
Just his 6th error of the year, and the pitch inside for a ball to Jesse Cogswell. Cogswell pinch hit and grounded out in the 7th, 0 for 1. 16-9, Nebraska leading. Outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Jesse Cogswell. Runner on first, nobody out here, top of the 9th inning. Silman ready, the 2-0. Ball 3. 3-0 to Cogswell.
The 20 hits garnered by Nebraska today equals their. Let's check this out here a second after this pitch.
Pitch inside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Jesse Cogswell, and here comes Eastern Michigan again. 2 on, nobody out, top of the 9th inning. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Tim Klaus. It'll be Matt Moffitt, their 3rd catcher. And Tim Klaus will sit down. Moffitt comes in, a left-handed bat, to get a look at Silman, and a better look at Silman coming from that submarine style.
Moffitt hitting .275 on the year, 1 home run, 5 runs driven in. Moffitt out of Chelsea, Minnesota. Good sized young man, just a freshman, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He is indeed a true freshman, and he will see if he can take his cuts here and make something happen for the Eagles.
2 on, nobody out, and Moffitt looks at a pitch down low. John Gross does a nice job to block that pitch. 1-0 on Matt Moffitt. And now Nebraska's bullpen will start again. It had quieted down. 2 on, nobody out, top of the 9th. That'll get the bullpen going again as Mike Silman tries to get out of trouble here, and O'Neill begins to throw again. The 1-0. 2-0 now on Moffitt.
The 20 hits garnered today by Nebraska equals their total for the last 3 games, or 32 innings that they played the last 3 ball games. So, again, the bats really did come alive here for the Huskers this afternoon, and it's not over yet. Even though it looks pretty good for the Huskers right now. Rob Childress coming out. See, he stopped here. He stopped before he crosses that line. Once he crosses that line, that is an official visit, and it rings up as far as the 3 visits you're allowed in terms of the rule. And Rob is out there now to talk to Mike Silman, try to get him calmed down, try to get it out here. You need to get it out. You got 2 base runners on here, top of the 9th inning. Just get it out somewhere. Pick up and out wherever you can. So Rob trying to calm his pitcher down.
Trying to convince him to throw strikes too.
Throw strikes.
Well, he's 2-0 on Moffitt now.
Throw strikes are pitches that are very nearly strikes. Make the guys swing the ball back.
Rob Childress has said his piece. He'll head to the dugout, and now a 2-0 pitch coming to Matt Moffitt. Chelsea, Michigan native, whose dad was an Eastern Michigan Eagle. The 2-0. Moffitt looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count.
The sons of Eagles.
Is that a good thing?
They all soar together.
2 balls and a strike. Moffitt waits, and the pitch right over for strike 2. 2-2 the count. Silman coming back and challenging Moffitt, and is able to hit a couple of strikes. 2-2 now on Moffitt. Nobody out, top of the 9th inning. 16-9 Huskers. Outside ball 3. 3-2 now on Moffitt. The number 9 hitter, Brent Olivier, and then the top of the order waiting for Eastern Michigan. Whatever you do, you don't want it to get to Goleski. That's a long way down the line. And the pitch upstairs, ball 4. Bases are loaded with nobody out here in the 9th inning.
Well, we saw what happens when you put a couple of guys on base back in the 7th inning when Quint Robertson was in the ball game. He walked Bixler, then he walked Peterson, and then Goleski came up and popped one out of here for a 3-run home run. So, again, when you put people on base, when you hit them or walk them, and you're just taking defense out of your team's play, as there's another ball down low.
Silman is having all kinds of problems finding the zone here in the 9th inning. 7-run lead for Nebraska, and a 7-run lead has never looked so precarious. Olivier waits for the 1-0. In there for a strike. 1-1 now on Brent Olivier. Grounded out in the 8th.
Tim Schenninger now running down as we take another look at this pitch. And right on the outside corner, right about knee high, in there for a strike.
Wave and a miss by Olivier, and it's 1-2 now. Silman has not been as crisp as he was in the Big 12 tournament or in the last couple of weeks of the season, but he's still trying to get his 3rd save of the year right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. And a swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out of the 9th inning. Olivier is down on strikes.
Silman and the Huskers needed that one badly, as Olivier didn't look good on that last pitch, the next to last pitch, and now goes after a sinker right there. And again, no chance at all. His bat probably about 6 to 8 inches above the ball right there. The ball sinking on that sidearm delivery. Bixler will try to see what he can do.
First pitch to Bixler, misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Brian Bixler singled and scored in the 8th, walked and scored in the 7th. He is 1 for 4 today. And the 1-0 gets away from Gross. No room to run though from third for Ryan Arnett. 2-0 the count with the bases loaded. And the top of the order now with Bixler, Palazzolo, and Peterson. 1, 2, 3 for Eastern Michigan. The 2-0 to Bixler. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
Well, Bixler had that stroke last time up. He had that base hit last time up, and there's an excellent pitch outside corner by Silman there. So he knows how to hit this pitch. He knows how to hit this sinker ball, and there's a ball that's going to be through there. Probably score 1 run for sure. Nope, they're going to hold the runner up at third. That's wise play there.
1 run does score on the play as Bixler gets RBI number 28 on the year. It's 16-10, and Eastern Michigan again not going away, and Bixler taking advantage of the wildness of Mike Silman, able to drive in the run. 6-run lead now for Nebraska. Bases still loaded. 1 out in the inning, and Tony Palazzolo, the batter.
And a lot of activity down in that Husker bullpen. Silman going to deliver right here. The ball, good job there by Gross. But again, 3 up in the pen right now for Nebraska as Gross stares out.
16-10, Nebraska leading. Sounds like a football score instead of a baseball score today. The 1-0 strike for Silman. 1-1 to Palazzolo. He singled and scored in the 8th.
Kevin, you know, one thing that Mike Silman is not doing today that I noticed the other day when he was pitching down in the tournament, he's not working as fast today as he did down there.
2-1 now on Palazzolo, and he's falling behind nearly every hitter, Aid, and that's not his modus operandi.
No,
he's got to be in front.
He works quicker, and again, he likes to take that lead. He likes to be driving the bus, so to speak, on that mound, but just not working quite as fast as he normally does.
The 2-1 chopped on the ground, slow roller to second. Mullinax bobbles it to throw. Nope. Oh, it got him at first base. Just barely nipped him at first. The run comes in to score, and that was nearly disaster for Nebraska.
Again, Mullinax, you wonder sometimes how it works. His head just up a little bit, maybe just took his eye just a little bit off the baseball, but again had time to recover and make the play. He didn't panic on the play, and that's important for youngsters to watch this game. Play like that, if you kind of boot it like that at second base, don't panic. You've got some time to move. Now, if you're at third base or shortstop, totally different deal. You got to move along, but at second, you got a little more time to make the play.
0-2 on Derek Peterson as Silman has rallied. The bases were loaded. 2 runs have come in the inning, but Silman rallying very nicely after the visit from Rob Childress.
Crowd now up here at Haymarket Field, Hawks Field, Haymarket Park, and should be the game.
Gordon with a stab, the throw across in time, and Nebraska wins in game 1 of the NCAA Regional. Final score today, Nebraska 16 and Eastern Michigan 11. Back with more from Hawks Field in a moment. Along with Adrian Fiala, Larry Putney, I'm Kevin Kugler. 16-11, Nebraska wins it. The final score today over Eastern Michigan in Game 1 of this 2003 NCAA Regional. It was not a pretty game from a pitching standpoint, but boy, if you liked offense, welcome to the NCAA Regionals. What an offensive showcase for both teams today.
27 runs, 35 hits, Kevin. So if you like offense, this indeed was the place to be this afternoon, but you have to tip your hat to Eastern Michigan. The Eagles came in here, little-known ball club from a very cold weather state. They came in, they played some baseball. They had the Huskers moving all the way up until about the 7th inning, and then it all fell into place for Nebraska after that. But again, the Huskers come through with the ball bats. Again, 20 hits on the day, and led by Matt Hopper with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs for Matt. and a host of others. Joe Gillian, a good day. Jake Mullinex, a good day. So, again, the Huskers step up. And let's not forget about Ryan Gillespie, the right fielder from Eastern Michigan, who really came in today. Again, 2 home runs for him and a single, and he had 6 RBIs on the afternoon. So Ryan Gillespie leads his team, but the Eagles come up just short of the Huskers, and they move into the losers bracket. Huskers move on to tomorrow's game at 3:30.
16-11, Nebraska wins it over the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Game 2 tonight scheduled to be Coastal Carolina and Southwest Missouri State. We'll have more on that. We'll have much more from Hawks Field in Lincoln in a moment.
NETV sports coverage of the 2003 NCAA Baseball Regionals is brought to you in part by the Nebraska Heart Institute, a provider of heart and vascular care at sites throughout Nebraska. A hospital dedicated to heart patients now located at 91st and Highway 2 in Lincoln. Fairbury Brand Meats, from home plate to your plate. Information available at fairburybrand.com. And by Pinnacle Sports Productions, home of Husker radio broadcasts.
2 expeditions, 1 destination, Alaska. The Harriman Alaska Expedition Retraced, coming soon to PBS.
Coming soon to NETV. From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television.
Nebraska wins it 16-11 today in Game 1 of the NCAA Regionals. They move on to take on either Coastal Carolina or Southwest Missouri State. That game tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 right here on Nebraska ETV. We'll be happy to be with you on that one. So the Huskers meeting right now, Aid, and when you look at what they're talking about, you got to imagine they're saying we'll need better pitching throughout the rest of this tournament, because today the pitchers on either side really didn't have their best stuff.
They really didn't, and people you would expect to have their best stuff, especially Quentin Robertson. But Quentin able to get through 6 1/3 innings, gave up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, again struck out 5 and walked 2. He did get the win, however, Kevin. Again, as we said earlier on, seemed like he pitched a long time ago, but he got the win here today. Mike Silman got the save. So pitching needs to step up. We'll see Aaron Marsden tomorrow, I'm sure. And the Huskers will continue to see if they can rip the ball. And for Eastern Michigan, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, they'll try to keep their dream going.
Well, once again, our final score, Nebraska 16 and Eastern Michigan 11. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 3:30 as the Huskers take on the winner of the Coastal Carolina Southwest Missouri State game, set to start tonight at 7 p.m. Central. And now for Adrian Fiala, Larry Putney, and our entire Nebraska ETV sports production crew, I'm Kevin Kugler. So long from Hawks Field at Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska.